At the beginning of the story, our main character, Han Sheng, says, "There has only ever been one problem in my life. People get offended way too easily by the things I say. Even if I politely say hello to someone, they somehow end up getting angry at me, and because of something so small, I ended up dying. But after being reborn, I finally realized that the thing I considered my biggest flaw is actually my greatest blessing. In this world, the more harsh things I say and the angrier people get at me, the more rage points I earn, because I possess the invincible rage system. Now, other people's anger has literally become my source of power. And honestly, making people angry is the easiest thing in the world for me. Using my poisonous words and everyone's rage, I'll climb to the very top of this world. My enemies, prepare yourselves. Not with arrows, not with swords. I'll destroy you with the sharpness of my words. If I don't make you cry tears of blood, then my name isn't Han Sheng." So now, let's watch Han Sheng's roasting-filled adventurous journey begin. The story starts in a classroom where all the students were studying seriously. Meanwhile, our main character was staring at a streamer's new dress. With a grin on his face, he says, "Damn girl, you're absolutely gorgeous." Unfortunately, the teacher overhears him. Annoyed, she says, "What did you just say?" Han Sheng casually replies, "What happened, ma'am? Didn't you hear me? If you want, I can say it again." The teacher instantly throws a piece of chalk straight at his forehead. "These days, you've become way too disrespectful." At that moment, a student sitting nearby says, "Teacher, this jerk has seriously crossed the line lately. You should punish him by making him write this poem 80 times. Maybe then he'll finally learn his lesson." Han Sheng thinks to himself, "This guy must have been born after 100 dogs died. He speaks like a human, but everything that comes out of his mouth is garbage." Then Han Sheng says, "Teacher, please punish me properly so my spoiled son can understand that he shouldn't behave like this in front of a teacher." Flash angrily replies, "Who the hell are you calling a spoiled son?" He immediately rushes forward to attack Han Sheng. But during the scuffle, Han Sheng gets shoved backward and crashes through the classroom window. As he falls, he shouts, "You bastard! Why did you push me?" While falling to his death, Han Sheng thinks, "I never imagined my life would end like this. If I'm given another chance, I'll become someone nobody can ever bully again." When Han Sheng opens his eyes again, he feels someone nearby. Who's making all that noise? Soon, he realizes that he has become the second young master of the Han family. A servant standing nearby excitedly says, "Young master, you're finally awake. For a second, I thought your ticket to the afterlife had already been booked." Confused, Han Sheng asks, "Young master, where exactly am I?" Suddenly, intense pain hits his head as countless memories flood into his mind. "It looks like I traveled through time. The owner of this body lived a carefree and luxurious life, but despite belonging to a cultivator family, he himself cannot cultivate. That's why his father treats him badly." The servant nervously says, "Young master, are you all right? You became extremely upset because of your marriage." Han Sheng immediately asks, "Wait, I was getting married?" As fragments of memory return, he mutters, "It seems some beautiful girl refused to marry me, and I probably got humiliated so badly that I fainted." The servant quickly explains, "Young master, we only asked you to meet Miss Shangguan once, but you did everything possible to break off the marriage." Han Sheng looks shocked. "Wait, I was the scumbag trying to cancel the wedding. Who exactly was I supposed to marry?" The servant suddenly becomes dramatic. "She is a heavenly beauty, a peerless goddess, the very definition of elegance and beauty, young Miss Shangguan. And here is her photograph. I'm sure once you see her face, all your memories will return." The moment Han Sheng sees the photo, he panics. "Hurry up and get this bulldozer-looking monster away from me, old man. And you called this an amazing marriage?" After seeing Shangguan's face, all the memories finally return. Back then, when the marriage proposal arrived, Han Sheng had been horrified by her appearance. In front of everyone, he shouted, "If you force me to marry this monster, I'll kill myself." But when even those threats failed, he eventually jumped into the family well. At that moment, the system suddenly speaks. "Host, because of your actions, the butler has become furious. You have earned 10 rage points." Han Sheng immediately asks, "So you're a system? Then tell me what exactly you can do." The system replies, "First of all, I know everything about you. Your name is Han Sheng. You are an extremely weak cultivator. You know no cultivation techniques and possess no combat skills. In short, compared to this world's standards, you are trash. But don't worry, your rage system is here to turn you into a hero. Only someone with incredible courage can handle the rage system. To earn rage points, you simply need to make other people angry with your words and actions. If you succeed, you'll gain rage points. And by using those points, you can improve your combat level, techniques, and skills." Han Sheng suddenly realizes something. "I've spent my entire life talking too much. In fact, I literally died because of it. I always wondered why people got so angry at the things I said, but now it seems that same habit will help me rise to the top of this world." Then he looks at the butler and asks, "Butler, are you angry at me?" The butler immediately bows. "Young master, how could a mere servant dare be angry at you? Even if you cut my entire salary, I still wouldn't dare. I only came to wake you because Miss Shangguan and her father are waiting in the main hall, and your father asked me to bring you there." The system suddenly announces again, "You have gained another 10 rage points from the butler." Han Sheng smirks to himself. What a liar. He's clearly furious. Meanwhile, the poor butler desperately tries to hold back his anger. Han Sheng then says, "Even though I now have this ability, I won't use it to bully good people. I'll only annoy people who actually deserve it. Butler, bring me my clothes. It's finally time to get serious." After getting dressed, Han Sheng grins confidently. "Dad, I'm finally going to meet your future daughter-in-law. You'll become the key to making me stronger." Meanwhile, in the main hall, Shangguan's father says politely, "Brother Han, there's no need to worry so much. Your eldest son is incredibly talented. I'm sure your younger son will eventually accomplish something too. Even if he's slow at cultivation, he'll eventually reach the key gathering realm. A son of the Han family can't possibly be complete trash." At that moment, Shangguan Xuan impatiently says, "Why are we still talking about Han Sheng? Where is brother Han Ran? I came here to meet him. He's the prince of my dreams. I'd do anything for him." Han Sheng's father explains, "Han Ran is currently in seclusion cultivating under the guidance of an elder." Then he sighs internally. "How can my two sons be so different? My eldest son, Han Ran, is an extraordinary genius. He's not only powerful, but also intelligent. Whenever people mention his name, they do so with respect. But my younger son, Han Sheng, his cultivation talent is pitiful, and he never takes cultivation seriously. He only causes trouble all day long." Then he remembers an old saying, "If a horse becomes uncontrollable, put a leash on it. And if a boy refuses to behave, get him married." The Shangguan family truly is the perfect choice for Han Sheng's marriage. Han Sheng's father says, "Actually, I sent the marriage proposal for Han Sheng because every child of the Han family is a genius. Han Sheng simply doesn't focus on cultivation right now, but he's definitely not trash." At that moment, Han Sheng suddenly makes a dramatic entrance, shocking everyone in the room. His father instantly gets furious. "You useless brat, what exactly are you trying to do here? How dare you make such a ridiculous entrance? You look like some cheap streamer." Han Sheng casually replies, "But Dad, you were the one who said first impressions are important. I was just trying to make a memorable one." Right after that, Han Sheng gains 30 rage points from his father. Mr. Han introduces him by saying, "Mr. Shangguan, this is my son, Han Sheng." Shangguan looks at him and says, "It's nice meeting this loser. But honestly, I would have been much happier if I were marrying his older brother instead." Hearing that, Shangguan's father immediately says, "Daughter, at least look at yourself before talking. At the very least, the boy looks handsome." Shangguan stubbornly replies, "Dad, I refuse to marry him." Mr. Shangguan then says, "If my daughter doesn't like the boy, then this marriage can't happen. If it were Han Ran, things would be different. But I can't give my daughter to someone like Han Sheng." Han Sheng thinks to himself, "You just made my job much easier. Now nobody can blame me for being rude." Then Han Sheng says, "Uncle Shangguan, don't take my words the wrong way, but have you ever carefully looked at your daughter's face? She honestly looks a lot like a pig. And honestly, it's not even her fault. She clearly inherited it from you. And have you seen her stomach? The entire Han family fortune would probably disappear just trying to make clothes for her. And if she's this huge, she probably eats a mountain of food too. If I married someone like her, our family would suffer massive losses. You don't even have the right to say you're canceling the marriage because I never agreed to it in the first place. And honestly, I'd rather die than marry someone like her." Enraged, Shangguan shouts, "You bastard, what did you just say? Your status in this city is lower than a dog's. How dare trash like you insult me?" Han Sheng smirks. "Oh, so in your eyes I'm a dog? Then what exactly are you? Let me show you the reality of how the world sees you. You're wearing pink clothes right now, so honestly you look like a giant onion. But normal onions aren't this fat. You probably have at least 100 layers. And I already told you your face looks like a pig. You probably don't even have a brain anymore. When people eat too much bread, eventually their brains get filled with dough too. And your poor innocent heart is probably crushed beneath all that fat. You're exactly like those girls who never look in the mirror but still go around searching for a boyfriend. Anyway, I don't want to waste any more time talking about you. I've got better things to do, so I'm leaving." After being humiliated so badly, Shangguan starts crying. "Daddy, he insulted me so badly." Meanwhile, Han Sheng's father becomes so angry that he's ready to beat him up. Han Sheng, on the other hand, was thrilled. "These people are reacting exactly the way I wanted. Keep getting angry and keep showering me with rage points." Later, Han Sheng's father storms into his room and kicks him. "I worked so hard to arrange that marriage for you, and you ruined everything. From now on, you're not allowed to leave this room." Han Sheng protests. "Dad, fine. maybe I can't leave. But why did you leave this fat guy here with me? His father replies, I know you'll run away the moment you get the chance, so he'll keep an eye on you. And here, take this cultivation technique. Sit down and practice properly. Han Sheng thinks, so these people actually want me to train seriously. Then his father adds, one more thing. From now on, you're not getting any pocket money. You've become too spoiled living a luxurious life. Now your beggar life begins. Han Sheng immediately starts banging on the door. Dad, I'm still your son. How can you treat me like this? I'll cultivate seriously, I promise. But please give me some money. His father coldly replies, until you master at least one technique, you won't get a single coin. Han Sheng sighs internally. Looks like crying won't help here. If I want money, I need to become stronger. The servant, Paigu, says encouragingly, young master, cultivate properly and show everyone what you're capable of. Han Sheng thinks to himself, just by making these people angry, I've already earned over 300 rage points. Let's see how much stronger I become after upgrading. The moment he uses the points, energy starts flowing out of his body. A warm sensation spreads throughout him. So this is cultivation. My body feels lighter and stronger. The system announces, congratulations, you've reached the first stage of the key gathering realm. However, your remaining points are insufficient to level up any skills. Han Sheng thinks, so if I want to learn skills, I'll need even more rage points. Paigu nervously asks, young master, are you alright? Han Sheng suddenly turns around and grins. Oh right, I forgot I'm not alone in this room. There's someone here I can have fun with. Paigu instantly panics. What kind of fun is he talking about? Everyone in the city knows how strange young master's hobbies are. He's not planning to use me for something weird, is he? Meanwhile, Han Sheng thinks, if I'm really this arrogant and hated in the capital, then I must have a ton of enemies. And those enemies can help me become even stronger. Then Han Sheng asks, Paigu, answer me honestly. Who are my enemies? Paigu nervously replies, young master, you currently don't have money, so hiring girls isn't possible. But if you simply want to satisfy your urges, I can offer myself. Before he can finish, Han Sheng kicks him. What kind of nonsense are you talking about? I was asking who my enemies are. Paigu hurriedly apologizes. Young master, forgive me. With your personality, honestly, every second person in the city is your enemy. But because of the Han family's status, nobody dares say anything openly. Still, if we're talking about your biggest enemy, that would definitely be young Master Chenju. That guy absolutely hates you. Han Sheng smiles wickedly. Perfect. Today is going to be fun. Take me to him. Paigu panics. Young master, the patriarch strictly forbade you from leaving the house. If you escape, I'll get whipped too. The scene then shifts to the Yudu restaurant. A waitress announces, Miss Yan has arrived in Luyun City. To celebrate her arrival, we've prepared this special banquet. We heard that Luyun City is filled with talented young scholars. So we hope one of the young masters here will present a beautiful poem for our young lady. Today's theme is flowers. You may either recite a poem or sing a song. Whoever performs the best will earn the chance to sing alongside young lady Yan. Hearing that, everyone becomes excited. Miss Yan, give us a chance. We can definitely compose amazing poems. Meanwhile, Han Sheng thinks, so this Miss Yan is the representative of the restaurant. But is she really so beautiful that everyone's going crazy for her? Paigu suddenly points ahead. Young master, I found young master Chenju. He's the guy standing at the very front of the crowd, trying to impress Miss Yan with a poem. The moment Han Sheng sees him, he freezes in shock. Chenju looks exactly like the same bastard from his previous life who caused his death. At that moment, Chenju proudly says, Miss Yan, if you ask anyone in this city who the youngest, most talented, and most handsome man is, everyone will answer with the same name, young master Chenju. That's why I'll be the first to compose a poem for you. Han Sheng clenches his fists and thinks, fate really plays twisted games. In my past life, this bastard got me killed for no reason. And now, in this life, he's my enemy again. Well then, I'll settle the score for both lifetimes at once. I'll make him understand what true humiliation feels like. At that moment, the maid smiles and asks, young master Chenju, you seem very confident today. May I ask what your favorite flower is? Chenju thinks to himself, this is my first chance to win Miss Yan's heart. I'll give it my best, so nobody else even gets an opportunity. Then Chenju proudly says, my favorite flower is the peonies. It's a very noble flower, just like me. From the side, Han Sheng suddenly says, you're not a flower, you're a bee. The kind that sucks an entire garden dry in one go. What would someone like you even know about flowers? Chenju glares at him. Han Sheng, who are you calling a bee? Han Sheng smirks and replies, I called you a bee because you seem to know flowers really well. That title suits you perfectly. The system announces, you successfully angered Chenju. Reward, 20 rage points. Han Sheng continues, you know, when you were born, your dad must have been completely shocked. He probably wondered how such a uniquely ugly creature appeared in his house. And now you're trying to recite poetry about flowers? You already look like one yourself. But the flower you resemble is a marigold. Chenju angrily says, Han Sheng, stop talking nonsense in front of everyone. Han Sheng laughs. Why shouldn't I talk nonsense? Did you take a monopoly over that? You're standing here pretending to be some great scholar while lying to everyone. If these people hear your poem, they'll die from shock. I'm actually saving lives by stopping you. What if Miss Yan loses her faith in flowers after hearing your terrible poetry? I'm protecting everyone here. Hearing Han Sheng's non-stop roasting, Chenju becomes furious. The system announces, you gained 50 additional rage points. Chenju steps forward angrily. Han Sheng, your courage has really grown. How dare you humiliate me publicly? Han Sheng replies mockingly, I thought you loved flowers. And didn't you say your character was noble? Then why are you charging at me in front of everyone? Chenju immediately calms himself down. He thinks, Miss Yan is watching me. She doesn't seem like the type who enjoys fights. I can't ruin my image in front of her because of this idiot. So Chenju backs off and says, I'm not as low class as you. That's why I won't attack you. Han Sheng grins internally. As long as you stay here, you'll keep giving me rage points. This is only the beginning of your humiliation. Chenju then turns toward Miss Yan and says, Miss Yan, I'll now recite a poem about roses. The first thing about roses is that they're beautiful, just like you. Before he can continue, Han Sheng interrupts again. And the thorns represent Chenju perfectly. You know the difference between a rose and Chenju? A rose is beautiful. Chenju is garbage. When his father first saw him, he probably fainted instantly. And roses and Chenju actually have one thing in common. They both have a smell. The difference is that the scent of roses can warm your heart, while Chenju's smell can send you straight to the hospital. The entire crowd bursts into laughter. Everyone starts whispering. Young Master Han Sheng's humor is amazing. He humiliated young Master Chaiju while talking about flowers. Chenju angrily shouts, Han Sheng, I'm trying to recite poetry. Can't you understand that you're disturbing me? Han Sheng casually replies, Fine, I won't disturb you anymore. But first, you need to call me Dad. Then Han Sheng suddenly pokes Chenju with his stick. The system announces, you gained 100 rage points from Chenju. Han Sheng thinks happily, Chenju is giving me so many rage points. At this rate, I'll level up very soon. Meanwhile, Miss Yan smiles and says, Honestly, young Master Han Sheng's sense of humor is incredible. Writing poems and songs is already difficult, but making people laugh on the spot is even harder. Only someone with a truly sharp mind can do that. I'd like to invite young Master Han Sheng to speak with me personally. If he tells me more jokes like these, my entire day will be made. The narrator then introduces her properly. This was Miss Yan Lan, a 19-year-old beauty whose true identity still remained unknown. Han Sheng says, Oh, so you want to hear a poem from me? Too bad, I'm not going to recite one. Everyone instantly freezes in shock. Chenju immediately mocks him. What's the point of acting so arrogant? You can't even compose a single poem. Han Sheng replies calmly, You're right. My poems are terrible. But if there's a ranking for bad poetry, I'd be rank 2. And you'd definitely be rank 1. You were talking non-stop earlier, but now a single sentence shut your mouth completely. The crowd starts whispering again. Han Sheng seriously has no brain. He embarrassed all of Luyan City in front of Miss Yan. Another person says, Forget Luyan City. He's disgraced his entire Han family. If it were me, I'd never tolerate someone like this in my family. Han Sheng takes a deep breath and says proudly, I never said I couldn't write poetry. I only said I wouldn't. To be honest, none of you even understand what real poetry is. Today, young Master Han Sheng will show you what true poetry looks like. Then he walks toward Miss Yan and says, You wanted a flower poem, right? Fine. I'll recite one about the lotus flower. As Han Sheng recites his poem, Miss Yan becomes completely captivated. This poem is incredible. I've heard thousands of poems about lotus flowers before. But this is the first one that not only praises the lotus, it also perfectly describes its flaws. I've never heard such a brilliant poem in my life. After Han Sheng finishes, Miss Yan was so moved that she nearly drops to her knees. This is a divine poem. Her maid hurriedly asks, Miss Yan, are you all right? Miss Yan replies emotionally, You're asking me what happened? How can everyone speak so badly about such an extraordinary poet? From a distance, he looks arrogant and carefree. But in reality, he's a true genius. His ability to observe the world around him is exceptional. This kind of unique talent will definitely achieve greatness in the future. I've met countless talented people, even members of the royal family, but I've never once been interested in learning more about any of them. This is the first time I genuinely want to know someone better. Miss Yan then says warmly, Young Master Han Sheng, your literary talent is truly extraordinary. Your poem completely satisfied me. How about we go have some tea together and discuss poetry more deeply? Han Sheng casually replies, There's no need for tea. Instead, book a room for me. Then I can stay the entire night thinking about these artistic ideas. What do you think of my plan? We won't be able to discuss everything properly over just tea. Hearing that, Miss Yan and her maid were instantly stunned. Miss Yan says awkwardly, A room? Young Master Han Sheng, what kind of nonsense are you talking about? Meanwhile, all the young men present become furious. Chenju immediately shouts, I told you this guy is trash. Miss Yan, you gave him a finger and he grabbed the whole hand. Someone like him should be thrown out immediately. Because everyone is getting angry again, Han Sheng keeps earning huge amounts of rage points. Han Sheng thinks happily, I didn't even say anything wrong. So why is everyone getting so angry? I only asked for a room. What's wrong with that? But whatever. I'm getting points either way. Meanwhile, Miss Yan thinks to herself, Han Sheng really is incredibly arrogant. I thought he was secretly a gentleman whom everyone misunderstood. But he completely disappointed me. Still, I was the one who promised to reward the best poet. So how can I reject his request now? Han Sheng then says, looks like Miss Yan agreed to my condition. Great, then I'll head to my room and rest. But according to our deal, you'll be paying for the room. Miss Yan awkwardly asks, you're going alone? Han Sheng replies innocently, well, obviously I'm going alone. Why? Did you want to come with me? Miss Yan hurriedly waves her hands. No, you may go. The crowd was left completely stunned. Wait, he was asking for a room only for himself? We thought he meant a room for both him and Miss Yan. Meanwhile, Han Sheng keeps receiving rage points from everyone's misunderstandings. Miss Yan thought to herself, this man's sense of humor is truly incredible. Every single thing he says carries 10 different meanings. Even his recent words were misunderstood by everyone. For the first time in my life, I've met someone truly unique. And honestly, I can already imagine an amazing future with him. The next day, Han Sheng was walking around happily. This feeling of freedom outside the house is amazing. Pegu excitedly said, young master, what you did last night was unbelievable. Before this, everyone said you were trash and that you had no talent in martial arts or literature. Honestly, even though I called you a genius to your face, deep down I thought you were a complete idiot. But after yesterday, you proved that we were the real fools for failing to recognize your talent. You recited such an incredible poem, and you even mastered 2 martial techniques overnight. Han Sheng looked shocked. How do you know I mastered the techniques? Pegu proudly replied, even I can tell that much. You can see it from your walking style alone. Han Sheng thought to himself, last night I earned a huge number of rage points. That's why leveling up only took me 3 seconds. But I forgot to hide my power. That's why Pegu noticed I leveled up. No one can find out that my martial arts jumped several levels overnight. In everyone's eyes, I still need to remain trash. Pegu excitedly continued, our second young master is a genius in martial arts and literature. The patriarch absolutely needs to know about this. I'm going to tell him right now that our second young master is a true genius. Han Sheng immediately stopped him. No, don't do that. Before anything else, we should eat first. Pegu helplessly replied, how are we supposed to eat? The Lord didn't give us any money. Han Sheng grinned. Money problems can be solved in 2 minutes. If our family is really that powerful, then they must own a lot of property. Let's go collect some money from our lands. Paigu's eyes lit up. Young master, you really are a genius. Our family owns many properties, and if we want money quickly, we should go to Kinley Village. We can definitely collect a lot from there. Han Sheng thought excitedly, Kinley Village. That name sounds rich already. There must be money flowing there like water. Who knows, maybe they'll hand me 1,000,000 spirit coins. Kinley Village, wait for me. Your young master is coming to rob you blind. However, the moment they arrived, Han Sheng noticed the village was in terrible condition. He frowned. These people are barely surviving themselves. How are they supposed to give me money? Then he glared at Paigu. You idiot. Why did you bring me here? Paigu quickly explained. Young master, this really is Kinley Village. Our family usually receives a huge amount of rent from here. The major families of Luyun City control these lands, and the farmers living here regularly pay taxes and rent. But this year, there was a flood. Their crops were destroyed. They haven't been able to pay anything for over a month. Han Sheng sighed. What kind of trash person do you think I am? You expect me to take money from hardworking farmers who are already suffering? There's nothing lower than stealing from people who don't even have enough money to eat. Paigu lowered his head. Young master, please calm down. I'm sorry. Suddenly, they heard shouting nearby. Han Sheng turned and saw Miss Shangguan grabbing a little girl by the arm. Shangguan angrily shouted, You filthy brat! You splashed dirty water on me. The little girl cried nervously. Sister, I'm sorry, I didn't do it on purpose. Another girl quickly said, That wasn't dirty water. We carried that water from a well 10 kilometers away. It was for drinking. Shangguan immediately slapped the girl away. I didn't ask you to speak. Then she picked up a sharp broken piece of pottery from the ground. Because of you, my clothes got dirty. So now I'm going to ruin your face. The scar I carve onto you will stay forever. The terrified little girl begged. Please, young miss, don't do this. At that moment, Han Sheng suddenly shouted, You fat pig, how dare you torture a child? Then he instantly rushed forward and hit Shangguan with a flying kick. Shangguan screamed angrily, Han Sheng, you're here? Han Sheng coldly replied, I wasn't planning to come here. But then I saw a wild pig attacking 2 little girls, and naturally, it became my responsibility to protect them. Look how perfectly I handled it. The system announced, you gained 166 rage points from Shangguan. Shangguan roared, did you just call me a wild pig? Han Sheng smirked, just look in a mirror once. You'll believe me yourself. The system announced again, you gained 366 rage points. Shangguan gritted her teeth. You're just a trash cultivator. How dare you talk to me like that? Han Sheng replied coldly. At least I'm human. I don't destroy other people's faces just because mine got dirty. You're the most disgusting girl I've ever seen. Then Han Sheng turned toward the little girl and gently asked, tell me everything. What happened here? And why is she treating you like this? Don't be scared. As long as your big brother is here, even her father can't touch you. The older girl tearfully explained, Sister Shangguan is a terrible person. She constantly comes to our village looking for excuses to bully us. She keeps extorting money from our parents and grandparents. And whenever we accidentally cross her path, she starts beating us for no reason. If you hadn't come today, she would have ruined my little sister's face forever. She already did something horrible before. Last time, she blinded my father. You know there's been a flood recently, so we couldn't pay the rent. My father begged her again and again, but she still destroyed his eyes. Han Sheng's expression darkened. If someone's face is ugly, that's not a big problem. But when someone's heart is rotten, they don't deserve to live in society. This girl is truly a stain upon humanity, and now it's my responsibility to clean that stain away. The little girl nodded fiercely. You're right. Sister Shangguan is cruel and disgusting. Han Sheng sneered. What else can you expect from a pig? Creatures like her belong inside cages. Letting her roam free was society's biggest mistake. Furious, Shangguan immediately charged toward the children again. Han Sheng calmly stepped forward. Compared to before, my strength has improved tremendously. I'm already at the 6th stage of key gathering. As long as I'm standing here, you won't touch these children. Then Han Sheng slammed Shangguan into the ground. Coldly staring at her, he said, if you have even a little shame left, apologize to these children. They've already lost enough because of you. Shangguan gritted her teeth and shouted, Han Sheng, don't cross the line. But before she could finish, Han Sheng slapped her hard across the face. My mood is terrible right now, so do exactly what I say. Otherwise, even I don't know what I'll do next. Shangguan angrily shouted, since when did you become a cultivator? But before she could finish, Han Sheng slapped her again and coldly said, I told you to apologize, not talk. What? Do you think you're some kind of big shot? Just do what you're told and apologize to these children already. Your biggest mistake was scaring them the moment you appeared. To be honest, I normally never hit women, but I don't even consider you human. That's why I don't feel bad at all when I hit you. Hearing Han Sheng's words, the little girls looked at him with sparkling eyes. So Big Brother is actually our savior. He protected us, and now he's teaching this fat pig a lesson too. Han Sheng calmly replied, this is my last slap. I hope that after today, you never do something evil like this again. The system announced, you gained 66 rage points from Shangguan. The little girl excitedly said, Big Brother, you're amazing. Han Sheng awkwardly scratched his head. No, I'm really not that special. Shangguan glared at him furiously. Han Sheng, you've done enough for today, but remember this carefully. I will never let today's humiliation go. One day you'll realize just how huge a mistake you made. Han Sheng smirked. Looks like you still don't understand that you're nothing in front of me. You clearly need a few more slaps to learn your lesson. If you're still standing in front of me after I count to 3, things won't end well for you. The moment he finished speaking, Shangguan immediately turned around and ran away. Pegu nervously said, Young master, that was the young lady of the Shangguan family. Don't you think you may have gone a little too far? Han Sheng confidently replied, Relax. My cultivation is advancing rapidly, and once father sees how quickly I've leveled up, he'll definitely be happy. I guarantee he'll forgive these small incidents. Pegu still looked worried, but I'm honestly scared. At that moment, the older girl stepped forward and said, Big Brother, everything that happened here was because of me and my sister. If you get into trouble because of this, then put all the blame on me. I'm willing to take responsibility. Han Sheng smiled gently. You're still just a child. You don't need to worry about things like this. The girl puffed her cheeks and replied, I'm not that young. You shouldn't underestimate me. Han Sheng noticed the broken water pot on the ground. Your pot broke, didn't it? That means you'll have to go get water again. The girl nodded sadly. Yes, Big Brother. This year's flood was terrible. We have to travel all the way to King Iron Mountain to get water. It's almost 10 kilometers away, and the path is full of steep hills. Han Sheng fell into deep thought. The water source is extremely far from here. That's why farming with only manpower isn't possible. No matter how hard humans try, they can't carry enough water for farming from 10 kilometers away. If this were modern times, we could simply use pipes. Wait, this world has pipes too. A smile appeared on his face. I've got an amazing idea. From now on, these villagers won't need to go to the water. The water will come to them. Pig looked shocked. But young master, that would cost a huge amount of money. Han Sheng replied confidently. Big projects naturally require money. Go tell father to give me 50,000 silver taels. We're going to build a water route to this village. Paigu stared blankly. Young master, are you serious? Han Sheng crossed his arms. Do I look like I'm joking? I'm giving you 15 minutes. Bring me workers and the money. This village will farm again. And this time, I'll help them succeed. Peigu immediately nodded. Yes, young master. Soon after, the older girl returned with her grandfather. The old man respectfully bowed and said, Young master, I'm the chief of Kinley village. My granddaughter already told me everything that happened here. Thank you so much for saving my granddaughters. The chief's son also stepped forward. Yes, young master, you saved my daughters. You've done our family an enormous favor. Han Sheng calmly replied, It's no big deal. I only did what any decent human should do. Actually, village chief, you arrived at the perfect time. I'm planning to restore Kinley village and make it prosperous again. The chief looked shocked. But, how? We've become extremely poor. How can this village possibly change? Han Sheng confidently explained, My plan will change everything, and it'll happen very quickly. My plan mainly has 3 steps. First, we'll create a path from King Iron Mountain to the village so water can flow here easily. Second, instead of growing ordinary crops, we'll grow unique fruits and vegetables. We'll also grow different crops every season. Third, we'll form a trade team. It'll include merchants and young workers. They'll sell our unique products in nearby areas. Since our goods will be special, they'll sell at high prices. That means everyone here will profit. The village chief became emotional. Young master, your methods are incredible. We never imagined someone like a savior would come to help us. Han Sheng smiled. This year, your village won't pay any taxes. And next year, we'll reduce taxes to only 20%. The entire village became overwhelmed with gratitude. Young master, you're like a god to us. On behalf of the entire village, thank you. You've done an unimaginable kindness for us. Han Sheng quickly helped the old man stand up. Elder, please don't bow. You don't need to kneel before me. Suddenly, several people approached from behind. One of them sneered, What's this trash Han Sheng trying to do now? He's always causing trouble, and now he's making another mess? He thinks he can change tax rules all by himself? The man was Liang Hechuan, a cultivator at the 9th stage of tea gathering. Han Sheng looked at him lazily. First tell me who you even are. The village chief nervously explained, He's the 2nd young master of the Liang family. Just like you, he belongs to one of the 4 great families. The system announced, You gained 66 rage points from Liang Hechuan. Hechuan sneered. Chenju told me you'd become extremely arrogant lately. At first, I couldn't believe a loser like you could act so proudly. But now I can see it with my own eyes. You've really gained some courage. Han Sheng laughed. So you're one of that idiot's friends? Someone once said pigs always travel in groups. And honestly, they were right. Looks like Chenju is the leader of your pig herd. Hearing this, Hechuan instantly exploded with rage and charged forward. It's been too long since someone beat you up. You must have forgotten how to behave. Today I'll personally teach you some manners. Han Sheng smiled calmly. Perfect timing. It's finally time to test my new technique. The next second, Han Sheng suddenly appeared behind Hechuan. Hechuan's eyes widened in shock. When did his speed become this fast? He quickly dodged Han Sheng's attack and jumped backward. This hasn't been long since we last met. Back then, he wasn't even qualified to stand before me. But somehow he's improved dramatically in just a few days. Still, his attacks can't touch me. Meanwhile, the little girl whispered, Big sister, his clothes look kind of weird. Her older sister quickly covered her eyes. You shouldn't look at things like that. This big brother has absolutely no shame. I don't even know what kind of clothes he's wearing. Hechuan frowned. What are those girls talking about? What's wrong with my clothes? One of his servants panicked and shouted, Young master, look down. Your dignity is completely exposed. Hechuan looked down and immediately froze in horror. What? How did my clothes tear apart? Han Sheng burst out laughing. These days, everyone asks what color underwear someone is wearing. But you didn't just tell us. You proudly showed everyone too. Pink underwear with little duck patterns? Wow, your tastes are surprisingly colorful. Hechuan roared furiously. You bastard. You did this on purpose. I came here wearing perfectly fine clothes. Han Sheng shrugged innocently. Who told you to dodge my attack? I only attacked normally. It's not my fault your clothes accidentally got sliced apart. The system announced you gained 388 rage points from Liang Hechuan. Hechuan gritted his teeth in humiliation. You got lucky today, but next time I won't let you off. Han Sheng smirked mockingly. Then why are you letting me off today? Go ahead and do whatever you want. Weren't you arrogantly saying you'd teach me a lesson? And weren't you talking about taxes too? Or can you only bark without actually doing anything? Liang Hechuan angrily shouted. Han Sheng, you're crossing the line. Don't become so arrogant that even the Han family can't protect you anymore. At that moment, Han Sheng suddenly grabbed Hechuan by the face and said coldly, "You clearly don't know any manners. So today, I'll personally teach you some. As your father, it's my responsibility to educate you. Otherwise, people will say I failed to teach my son properly." Right after saying that, Han Sheng slapped him hard again. Meanwhile, Han Wenguan and the butler were secretly watching everything from the side. The butler said in shock, "Patriarch, young master's techniques have improved tremendously. He has even mastered the soul palm technique." Han Wenguan narrowed his eyes thoughtfully. Just one night ago, this brat was completely ordinary. His cultivation was so terrible that everyone called him trash. But now he has already surpassed the key gathering level. The butler added, "When Paigu came asking us for money, we thought young master had caused another problem. That's why we rushed here immediately. But after arriving, young master completely surprised us. Liang Hechuan used to be far stronger than him. But now it looks like Hechuan can't even last 2 minutes against him. Should I stop this fight? Young master is acting way too recklessly, and this could seriously damage our family's reputation." Han Wenguan calmly replied, "Wait a second. I feel like someone else is about to appear. Let's see how this brat handles the situation." Meanwhile, Han Sheng continued beating Hechuan while mocking him. "What happened? Why aren't you talking anymore? A moment ago, you were acting incredibly arrogant, but now that you're getting beaten up, you can't even make a sound." At that moment, Liang Wangking arrived. He was Hechuan's father. Wangking coldly said, "Boy, stop this fight right now." Han Sheng immediately sensed his terrifying aura and thought, "This guy's aura is dangerous. And just from his anger alone, I received 888 rage points. He must be Hechuan's father. He definitely came here to save his son." Han Sheng casually smiled and said, "Uncle Liang, your son is way too rude. He doesn't even know how to talk to people properly. So I was teaching him some manners." Wangking's expression darkened. "Even if my son lacks manners, that's none of your business. You don't need to teach him yourself. I raised my son very carefully, and I don't like seeing anyone lay their hands on him." Han Sheng shrugged. "To be honest, I don't enjoy hitting people either. But your son attacked first. Everything I did was in self-defense, and if I had truly attacked seriously, your son wouldn't have survived long enough for you to arrive." As he spoke, Han Sheng secretly leveled up again. Then he continued, "You know, beating your son wasn't wrong at all. Some people simply can't understand words. They only understand fists." The moment those words left his mouth, Liang Wangking released his cultivation pressure. "Young Master Han Sheng, you are crossing your limits. You cannot bully my son right in front of me." Han Sheng became excited internally. This guy's anger is incredible. He already gave me 888 rage points earlier, and now he gave me another 888 points. So the stronger the cultivator is, the more benefits I gain from their anger. At first I didn't plan on provoking him, but now that the profit is this huge, I have to take the risk. Besides, I'm the young master of the Han family. What's the worst he can do? Slap me twice? And later, I'll take revenge for that too. Han Sheng then arrogantly declared, "Fine. Let's say I bullied your son. So what can you actually do about it? You don't even have the courage to touch my face. Do you know who I am? I'm the young master of the Han family. Sure, your Liang family is one of the top 4 families, but among those 4 families, yours is the weakest." The butler nearly fainted from shock. Our young master has gone completely insane. Can't he see how terrifying his opponent is? Does he not care about his life anymore? How can he say such outrageous things? Even Han Wenguan sighed helplessly. "I should have left this brat at an orphanage when he was little. At least then he wouldn't keep causing me headaches. He used to only provoke people his own age. But now he's provoking the older generation too." At that moment, Liang Wangking completely lost control and released a beast-like aura. "Brat, you've gone too far. I respected your family, which is why I held back. But I can't control myself anymore." Han Sheng immediately sensed danger. "This attack is terrifying. I need to dodge immediately." Wangking coldly declared, "You cannot dodge this attack. No matter where you run, it will follow you." Han Sheng shouted loudly, "You old man, you've been talking nonstop about bullying. Aren't you ashamed of attacking a child? If your attack actually hits me, the entire city will spit on your reputation." But before the attack could even touch Han Sheng, it was suddenly destroyed mid-air. Liang Wangking's eyes widened. "My attack was destroyed so easily. That means a terrifying Han family expert is hiding nearby. So that's why this brat has been acting so arrogantly." Han Sheng was equally shocked. "How am I still alive? Looks like father secretly hired an extremely powerful bodyguard for me. If that's true, then I have absolutely nothing to fear now. Liang Wangking, attacking me was the biggest mistake of your life. Now, I'm going to raise your blood pressure to the sky." Wangking suppressed his anger and said, "Han Sheng, apologize to my son. If you apologize, the Liang family will forgive you." Hechuan immediately protested, "Father, he beat me up badly. If you let him go like this, what will happen to my reputation?" Wangking replied coldly, "There's a terrifying expert nearby who can easily kill me. So you decide what matters more." your reputation or your life. Han Sheng laughed arrogantly. You want me to apologize? That's impossible. And honestly, I don't apologize to weak families like the Liang family. To tell the truth, picking a fight with me was your greatest mistake. You'll regret it for the rest of your life. The system announced again. You gained 1888 rage points from Liang Wanking. Wanking's face turned dark. A weak family? No one in this city has ever dared call the Liang family weak before. He stepped closer to Han Sheng and said coldly, Boy, you're seriously underestimating us. Do you really think I can't touch you? Both of them released their killing intent at the same time. Han Sheng smirked fearlessly. Look, I know you have the courage to attack me. You're threatening me, right? Fine then. I won't move even a single inch from where I'm standing. If your Liang family is truly powerful, then make me move. If you can knock me down, I'll admit you're strong. Otherwise, you're nothing but a loudmouth. The butler panicked and said, Patriarch, please let me go help him. Yes, young master's troublesome, but he's still one of ours. Young master is in danger. Han Wenguan calmly stopped him. No need. I admit Han Sheng is in some danger, but Liang Wanking won't actually do anything. You released a terrifying killing intent earlier to protect Han Sheng, and someone also destroyed Wanking's attack. Wanking is smart enough to understand that a powerful expert is protecting Han Sheng. He won't dare touch him. He's too cowardly for that. At the same time, Liang Wanking was thinking nervously. That killing intent from the rooftop behind us is terrifying. It's obvious that if I touch this boy, I'll die instantly. And even worse, if I offend some hidden expert because of this brat, the Liang family could be destroyed. Whether I admit it or not, our Liang family really is the weakest among the 4 great families. Meanwhile, the Han family is incredibly powerful. Han Sheng grinned proudly. What happened? Don't you have the courage to attack anymore? You know, I'm the most handsome young master in this entire city, and you don't even have the guts to touch my face. I'm basically the grandfather of the entire Liang family, and I already taught all my grandchildren never to hit their grandfather. See? That's exactly why you still haven't attacked me. As Liang Wanking turned around to leave, he thought to himself, I can't attack this brat. I should just ignore his nonsense and leave. But before he could walk away, Han Sheng grabbed him by the collar and shouted, Wait a second! Did I say you were allowed to leave? You were the one bragging about attacking me. But when the moment finally came, you didn't even have the courage to touch me. I dragged your entire family into a tiny argument, yet you're still too scared to open your mouth. If your Liang family were truly powerful, why would you be afraid? The Liang family isn't even worthy of being called a top family. And deep down, you know that better than anyone. That's exactly why you'll never dare attack me. So next time, don't make threats you can't back up. I hope you remember my words. Because of Han Sheng's non-stop provocation, the system rewarded him with another batch of 888 rage points from Liang Wanking. Meanwhile, Han Wenguan was losing his mind. This brat is seriously going to drive me insane. The butler quickly replied, Master, please calm down. We still need to stay here and protect young master. Han Sheng arrogantly waved his hand and said, You Liang family trash can leave now. I'm already tired of wasting my time talking to you. And next time, tell your son not to block my path. Otherwise, your entire Liang family will end up in my hands. I'll personally punish every single one of you. And I'll teach your whole family what real manners look like. Han Sheng thought excitedly. Thanks to Liang Wanking, I've earned a massive profit. I already gained more than 5,000 points just by standing here. At that moment, Liang Wanking finally exploded with rage. That's it. I'm done holding back. Han Sheng was about to continue talking, but suddenly the butler covered his mouth. The butler hurriedly apologized. Master Liang, please forgive our young master. Yes, everything that happened today was his fault. But I hope that as a noble man, you can forgive this child. After all, children are bound to make mistakes. Liang Wanking coldly replied, I won't do anything today, but I will remember every single thing that happened here. And clearly, you haven't realized what this child has done. After today, all the great families will unite against the Liang family because of him. I hope the Han family is prepared for what's coming. After saying that, Liang Wanking finally left. Han Sheng immediately looked at the butler and grinned. Butler, you're amazing. The moment you appeared, that guy tucked his tail and ran away. The butler almost screamed in frustration. Young master, for the sake of God, please shut your mouth. Has no one ever taught you that talking too much brings disaster? The more you talk, the worse things become for us. Han Sheng casually replied, all right. Since he's gone now, let's change the topic. Butler, why did you suddenly come here? It looks like you brought the 50,000 silver taels with you. Come on, hand them over already. I have something very important to do with them. The butler sighed deeply. Yes, I brought something, but it's not money. It's rope. The scene then shifted to the Han family kitchen. Han Wenguan and the butler had tied Han Sheng up and hung him in the air. Han Sheng shouted angrily, You tricked me into coming here. I'm part of this family. How can you treat me like this? Han Wenguan glared at him and said, I told you to stay home and practice properly. But what did you do? You snuck out without permission. Now tell me every single problem you caused since last night. And as long as your mouth keeps moving, my hands will stay still. Han Sheng immediately panicked. Dad, let me explain. I really didn't do anything that serious. Han Wenguan crossed his arms. Fine. Then, explain exactly what you did. Han Sheng quickly answered. After you locked me in my room, I escaped through the window. Then I went to the Yudu restaurant, where I met Chenju. I only had a small poetry battle with him, that's all. Han Wenguan narrowed his eyes. But I heard you publicly humiliated Chenju. The entire city is talking about it. They're all saying nobody roasts people better than Han Sheng. Han Sheng waved his hand dismissively. Forget about that. This morning, I went to Qinli village, and there I met Miss Shangwan. We only had a tiny little fight, nothing serious. Han Wenguan's face twitched. A tiny little fight? Tell me properly what you actually did to her. Han Sheng casually replied, I only slapped her 5 times and kicked her once or twice. That's basically nothing. Han Wenguan almost coughed blood. In less than a single day, you managed to offend every major family in the city. Even if someone intentionally tried to do that, they probably couldn't succeed. And yet you somehow offended all of them by accident? At this point, teaching you a lesson has become absolutely necessary. Just then, Paigu rushed inside in panic. Master, hurry! Things have become really bad. People from the Liang family, the Shangguan family, and the Cheng family have all arrived. They're demanding to see the second young master immediately. Han Wenguan sighed helplessly. I knew this brat caused massive trouble. It was only a matter of time before they came here. Meanwhile, Han Sheng became excited instead of scared. So all the Avengers of this city have assembled, huh? And now all of these Avengers are about to shower me with points. On the other side, Chenju stared at Hechuan and Shangguan in complete shock. What happened to both of your faces? Shangguan tearfully cried. That bastard Han Sheng ruined my beautiful face. Chenju thought to himself, what exactly is Han Sheng doing these days? First of all, since when did his martial talent and literary talent become this terrifying? Miss Yan was absolutely right. To crack jokes like that, you need an incredibly sharp mind. I tried my best yesterday to humiliate Han Sheng with words, but I completely failed. And honestly, it's a good thing I didn't choose to fight him. Otherwise, I would have ended up just like these two. Hechuan angrily declared. Han Sheng made the biggest mistake of his life. Today, he'll kneel in front of everyone and apologize. Right then, Han Sheng walked in arrogantly and said, Wow, looks like all of you have been thinking about me a lot. Hechuan, it seems yesterday's lesson wasn't enough. I guess I'll have to teach all of you another one. This will be part 2 of me bullying you idiots. Everyone was stunned after seeing Han Sheng walk in so confidently. Han Wenguan immediately smacked him on the head and growled, Control your behavior already. Han Sheng stubbornly replied, Dad, if you think I'm going to apologize to these idiots, then forget it. No matter what you do to me, I'm not apologizing. Han Wenguan sighed deeply. If you actually listened to me for once, I wouldn't have needed to drag you here tied up like this. I already knew you'd keep causing trouble. That's exactly why I brought you here restrained. But honestly, I've gotten used to your nonsense at this point. I'm tired of constantly defending you. All these people came here because you bullied every single one of them. And this time, I'm not helping you. You're going to handle this mess yourself. Let's see how you plan to talk your way out of it. Han Sheng immediately replied, Dad, what exactly are you trying to say? Right then, Han Wenguan grabbed Han Sheng and threw him forward. Han Sheng complained, Sometimes the way he treats me makes me wonder if I'm even his real son. How can someone throw their own child around like that? Mr. Sheng angrily said, Han Sheng, look at what you did to my daughter's beautiful face. You always have an explanation for everything, right? Then tell me why you did this. Han Sheng slowly stood up and calmly replied, Sometimes we do good things, but idiots fail to understand why we did them. Shangguan's father immediately thought, Did this brat just call us idiots? Because of their anger, Han Sheng gained another 770 rage points. Han Sheng continued, Now everyone, take a proper look at Shangguan's real appearance. If we analyze her face carefully, her cheeks, nose, ears, and eyes are all problematic. Even plastic surgery couldn't fix all those issues, so I came up with a better solution. Since I beat her up, most of her face is now swollen and covered. And because of that, nobody can even see her ugly face anymore. And if people can't see her face, then how can they judge whether it's ugly or beautiful? So technically, I transformed your ugly-looking daughter into a normal-looking girl. Chenju nodded awkwardly. Honestly, his logic kind of makes sense. Meanwhile, Shangguan exploded in anger. What do you mean my entire face is ugly? Mr. Shang frowned and said, I don't fully understand what he's saying, but it sounds like he didn't do it with bad intentions. He just covered up my daughter's ugly face. In a strange way, that actually helped her. At that moment, Lian Wangking stepped forward and said, You really know how to twist words in your favor. Fine. Let's assume Shangguan is ugly, so you beat her up to fix her. Then explain why you beat my son. He doesn't look ugly like Shangguan. Han Sheng immediately replied, I had an excellent reason for beating your son. If someone takes water from a lake, that's understandable. But stealing water from poor people and drinking it yourself, that's something only the lowest kind of trash would do. Your son knows perfectly well that there's a flood this year. Even as landlords, instead of helping the farmers, your children are out there harassing them. You should have been teaching your kids to help people. But instead, they're bullying innocent villagers. And now all of you are here defending them. Aren't you ashamed of yourselves? Honestly, beating your son was the right thing to do. And if you expect an apology from me, then keep dreaming. My mood is already terrible these days, and yet you people keep bringing me these pointless little problems. Then Han Sheng looked toward Chenju. Oh Chenju, you're here too. So what problem do you have? Chenju instantly backed down. No, I don't have any problem. I just brought these people here. Han Sheng smirked. What happened? Did you lose your nerve? You were acting like their leader earlier. But now that you've seen these two get beaten up without being able to do anything, you realized your situation would be even worse. Chenju nervously replied, No, it's not like that. I just don't enjoy provoking people. But deep down, Chenju was thinking, who in their right mind would provoke this monster? These two got beaten badly and still couldn't prove themselves right. At least I was only humiliated verbally. That's nothing compared to this. Meanwhile, Han Wenguan silently thought, sometimes Han Sheng acts like a completely useless child who can't accomplish anything in life. But he genuinely cares about the villagers. Even we family heads failed to understand the villagers' suffering, yet he noticed it immediately. One thing is certain now, my son is definitely not a bad person. And speaking of courage, he's standing in front of multiple family heads without even the slightest fear. Instead, he's the one putting pressure on all of them. Liang Wangqing then asked, Head of the Han family, aren't you going to say something? Han Wenguan calmly replied, What exactly do you want to hear from me? Was listening to my son not enough already? Liang Wangqing angrily said, Han Sheng changed the taxes without consulting anyone. And when we questioned him about it, he even attacked us. Yet you still aren't saying anything? Han Wenguan coldly responded, Brother Liang, perhaps you forgot that children only have limited authority. If you people are foolish enough not to use your brains, then how is that our fault? I was the one who told Han Sheng to change the taxes. There's a drought and flooding situation right now. If you had an issue with it, you should have come directly to me. A child who follows orders can't make such decisions on his own. And as for the fights, these are just conflicts between young people. Neither you nor I can stop them. So honestly, I find this entire argument pointless. Han Sheng was shocked internally. I always thought my dad was terrible, but he's actually defending me in front of everyone. Liang Wangqing angrily pointed at his son. Look at my son's face. His teeth were knocked out. Do you really think this was some normal children's fight? And regardless of Han Sheng's excuses, he beat up the Shangguan family's daughter too. We deserve a proper explanation for this. Han Sheng lazily replied, In my opinion, elders shouldn't interfere in children's matters. That only creates conflicts between families. But I have a perfect way to settle this. You people claim I beat up Hechuan and Shangguan. And yes, I beat them up pretty badly. So how about this? These two so-called martial geniuses of our country can fight trash like me. If the two of them together manage to beat me, then I won't say another word. And the Han family won't interfere either. If you people have courage, then accept the challenge. I'm giving you a completely fair chance to settle this. Hechuan instantly shook his head. I don't think that's a good idea. A wise man once said that every action should be carefully considered. And fighting never solves anything. So I refuse to fight. I'm willing to forget this matter. Shangguan immediately agreed. I already got beaten once, and that was enough for me. I'm not getting beaten again. Besides, Han Sheng is basically a monster. Just then, a guard suddenly rushed in and shouted, Report. The Imperial Guards have arrived at City Gate. Liang Wangqing was shocked. What? The Martial King's army is here. Han Sheng became curious. What exactly is the Martial King's army? The moment everyone heard the title Martial King, they all became tense. Who exactly is this Martial King? It seems like he's someone extremely important. Han Wenguan calmly said, Well, since none of you want to continue this matter, I'll take my son and leave. Liang Wangqing quickly stopped him. Brother Han, where are you going? The Martial King's army has arrived. You need to go welcome them. If the main family heads don't appear, they might feel offended. Han Wenguan coldly replied, Whether I go or not makes no difference. So I'm not going. Liang Wangqing nervously said, The Martial King holds an incredibly high position. You're one of the most powerful people in Luyan City. If you don't go, it will definitely offend them. Han Wenguan released his aura and said, To be honest, they don't deserve that much respect. If you people want to behave like dogs, then go ahead. But I refuse. The three family heads immediately became furious. Han Wenguan, you're looking down on us too much. If you're not calling yourself a dog, then are you calling us the Martial King's dogs? You're seriously underestimating the three great families. Han Wangguan coldly replied, You cowards start trembling the moment you hear the martial king's name. But I'm not weak enough to fear them. The next second, Han Wangguan attacked all three family heads at once. With just a single strike, he completely overwhelmed them. Hechuan swallowed nervously. I probably shouldn't say this, but Han Sheng's dad is terrifyingly strong. Han Sheng excitedly shouted, Dad, that was amazing. You buried all three family heads into the ground with a single punch. You truly deserve to be my father. Then he looked toward Hechuan and said, Take your dad and uncles home. My dad is a little too powerful, so he accidentally hit them too hard. Just like me, he also struggles to control his strength. Hechuan gritted his teeth in frustration. Dad, you completely embarrassed me today. Han Sheng proudly replied, Dad, what kind of technique did you just use? That attack was insanely powerful. Please teach it to me too. Wangguan calmly replied, You're only at the yellow rank right now. You're still far too weak to learn a technique that powerful. Han Sheng looked confused. Yellow rank? What's that supposed to mean? Wangguan began explaining. In the martial world, cultivation is divided into 4 major realms. The first realm is the yellow realm. After that comes the earth realm, which can be considered the second stage of cultivation. Your brother is an extremely powerful cultivator who has already reached the earth realm, and Butler Du has reached the heaven realm. That's why even the major family heads of the city fear him. Cultivators at the heaven realm are incredibly dangerous. Han Sheng immediately asked, Then what realm are you in, Dad? You defeated 3 family heads at the same time, so you must be at the heaven realm too, right? Wangguan smiled slightly and replied, I'll tell you my realm in the future. It's not something you need to know yet. Han Sheng thought to himself, Dad just said there are 4 cultivation realms, but his strength clearly shows he's beyond normal. And if he isn't in the heaven realm, then doesn't that mean he's already at the 4th stage of cultivation? He's seriously being way too mysterious about this. At that moment, Poggy called out, Young master, Miss Yan asked me to deliver this to you. Han Sheng took the note and said, Oh, it's from that girl who paid for my room for a night. What does she want from me now? But the moment he read the note, his expression changed completely, because the note simply said, Please save me. The scene then shifted to the Yudu restaurant. Outside the restaurant, several people were talking nervously. The Imperial Guards are outside the restaurant. Another person added, I heard the Martial King is searching for someone who's currently inside the restaurant. That's why the guards have been stationed here. Inside the restaurant, Miss Yan sat anxiously and said, Why hasn't young Master Han Sheng arrived yet? Her maid nervously replied, Young miss, that man only met you once in his life. Why would he risk himself just to help you? We should focus on finding an escape route ourselves. Relying on that guy is honestly a terrible idea. Miss Yan was about to say something when Han Sheng suddenly entered the room. Smiling confidently, he said, Miss Yan, we meet again. Miss Yan immediately stood up in relief. Finally, young Master Han Sheng, you're here. But, your nose is bleeding. Han Sheng casually waved it off. That's nothing. I heard you were in danger, so I rushed here to save you. Come on, get ready. We'll escape through the broken roof. Then he handed Miss Yan a dirty handkerchief, which instantly earned him another 5 rage points. Miss Yan frowned and said, You just dirtied this handkerchief. My mother gave this to me. I love lotus flowers because my mother loved them dearly. Han Sheng immediately realized, so this handkerchief is precious to her. No wonder she got angry when I wiped my blood on it. Miss Yan softly continued, My mother loved lotus flowers because they remain beautiful and strong even in terrible conditions. She wanted me to become like that too. But perhaps fate never intended things to go the way she wished. Han Sheng quietly thought, It seems this girl has gone through a lot. I should cheer her up a little. If I recite a poem about lotus flowers, she'll probably feel better. Then Han Sheng began reciting an incredibly beautiful poem about lotus flowers. Miss Yan was stunned. This is the same poem he recited part of the other day. Young Master Han Sheng truly is the greatest poet I've ever met. Han Sheng smiled gently and said, Who said the lotus failed? To me, you are my lotus. Miss Yan slowly stepped closer toward him. But suddenly, the door burst open. A young man stormed inside and shouted, You bastard! How dare you enter Miss Yan's room? And what exactly were you trying to do with her? Han Sheng frowned. What do you mean? What was I trying to do? The young man angrily replied, I saw you holding the young lady. Don't act innocent. I know exactly what kind of intentions you had. If I hadn't arrived in time, who knows what you would have done? Miss Yan quickly interrupted. General Yang, you completely misunderstood. Young Master Han Sheng is a very important friend of mine from Luoyun City. He heard about my marriage and came here to see me. General Yang relaxed slightly. So that's the situation. But Princess, you are extremely important to the Martial King. You shouldn't get too close to ordinary people. It's inappropriate. Han Sheng blinked in surprise. Wait, Miss Yan is actually a princess? General Yang frowned. You didn't even know Princess Yan was royalty? That means you barely know her at all. If you quietly leave right now, I'll pretend I never saw you. Han Sheng immediately understood the situation. So these Imperial Guards came to take Miss Yan back to the royal palace. But judging from her expression, she clearly doesn't want to go with them. In that case, I'll do exactly what the main character of this story is supposed to do. Han Sheng stepped forward and said, "You know, the word friend means a lot to me. And once someone considers me their friend, I'll stand by them until the very end. Miss Yan called me her friend. So without her permission, none of you are taking her anywhere." Miss Yan panicked. "Young Master Han Sheng, what are you doing?" Han Sheng then glanced at his system and noticed he had accumulated 2,333 rage points. He thought to himself, "I earned a ton of rage points earlier, but I never used them. The time has finally come. I'm going to level up and teach all these people a lesson." Han Sheng confidently said, "You know, Princess Yan and I first met during a poetry gathering, and if you want to take her away, then first you have to answer my question. If a horse becomes friends with grass, then what will the horse eat?" General Yang looked completely confused. What kind of stupid question is that? We're warriors. We only know how to fight. We don't understand this horse and grass nonsense. Han Sheng smirked. "If you can't even understand something that simple, then you're not qualified to take the princess away. Now get out." Enraged, General Yang immediately charged forward to attack. "How dare you call me an idiot? You've already shown me what you're good at. Now let me show you what I'm good at." He continuously launched attacks toward Han Sheng. Han Sheng easily dodged every strike while saying, "In the thing I'm good at, you can't even compare to me. But apparently, even in the thing you think you're good at, you still completely suck. Who exactly are you swinging your sword at? Can't you even see me?" General Yang's rage instantly gave Han Sheng another 88 rage points. Han Sheng laughed and said, "You seriously need to improve your speed. At this rate, you'll never even touch me." But internally, Han Sheng was cautious. This guy's swordsmanship is incredible, and his combat experience is even more terrifying. If I keep provoking him carelessly, eventually one of his attacks will land. I should end this quickly. Han Sheng suddenly accelerated forward. "Now I'm going to hit your brain. So maybe it'll finally start working properly." The next second, he landed a devastating strike on General Yang. General Yang was shocked. "How is this guy so unbelievably fast?" Han Sheng continued attacking while mocking him. "I don't even need a weapon to beat you. Using a weapon against someone like you would only disgrace me. My fists are more than enough." The impact sent General Yang flying straight out of the restaurant. Outside, another man had just arrived. It was Uncle Yang Leding, the commander of the Imperial Guards. General Yang quickly shouted, "Uncle Leding, please help us. This bastard attacked me." Han Sheng walked outside and coldly said, "So you're the general of this army of idiots. I heard armies recruit talented people, but your army is filled with complete donkeys. And judging from their intelligence, their brains are probably located in their knees. You should honestly be ashamed of yourself. You're a terrible general." General Leding narrowed his eyes and asked, "Boy, who exactly are you? And why are you attacking my men?" His anger instantly gave Han Sheng another 166 rage points. Han Sheng casually replied, "I figured that if you were their general, then you probably wouldn't have a brain either. Don't you know basic manners? Before asking someone about themselves, you should introduce yourself first. So be a good boy and introduce yourself properly. Then maybe I'll give you a candy." Miss Yan quickly said, "Young Master Han Sheng, this man is extremely dangerous. You can't fight him so casually. In my father's army, Yang Leding is one of the bravest generals. He's known as the Thunder King of the battlefield. Most people even call him General Thor. Once, a group of brutal cultivators attacked Luyan City, and General Thor defeated all of them by himself. After that battle, he became incredibly famous." Han Sheng thought to himself, that introduction was terrifying. It looks like I really picked a fight with a monster this time. Stepping forward, Leding coldly said, "Kid, you're not leaving this place alive." Han Sheng silently thought, "Yeah, I definitely stayed here for too long." Leding then declared, "I'm giving you one last chance. Either leave right now, or die by my hands." Han Sheng suddenly smiled and said, "I can see a very powerful warrior standing before me with a weapon in his hand. He looks extremely dangerous. A true warrior who has the courage to fight countless enemies. Feeling proud?" Leding smirked. "Kid, you're pretty good at praising people. I'll only break your legs. I won't kill you." Han Sheng immediately replied, "Who said I was praising you? There are plenty of people behind you holding weapons. I could have been talking about any one of them. Why are you assuming I was talking about you? Though honestly, there are a few things I do want to say about you. Your hairstyle looks like a chicken's feathers. And that title, General Thor? It's just a cheap copy of the real Thor. Do you seriously think having a cool name automatically makes you powerful? You're nothing more than the commander of a bunch of donkeys. At best, you're just a stronger donkey. Nothing more." The general's face instantly darkened with rage. "No one in my entire life has ever insulted me like this. You insignificant cultivator, you've crossed the line." Then he launched another terrifying attack. "Today will be your last day alive." At that moment, Han Sheng upgraded his shadow step technique, allowing him to dodge the attacks far more easily. General Letting narrowed his eyes. This brat's footwork is incredible. He's dodging my Thunder Python attacks surprisingly well. But I can also clearly see that he lacks real combat experience, and that weakness will eventually cost him this fight. Suddenly, the general altered the direction of his attack mid-strike and closed the distance instantly. The attack finally landed. Blood spilled from Han Sheng's mouth. Han Sheng thought, this guy has clearly fought countless battles. He completely caught me off guard. Meanwhile, Yang excitedly shouted, enjoying the beating now? Now you finally get to see my uncle's real power. Did you seriously think you could bully me while my uncle was here and walk away safely? Han Sheng wiped the blood from his mouth and replied, you know, there's a massive cultivation gap between me and your uncle, and yet I'm still standing here perfectly fine. Unlike you, who got beaten by someone weaker and is now hiding on the side. So honestly, you should stop talking, because no matter how injured I become, I can still crush little rats like you anytime I want. Yang angrily shouted, the rope may have burned, but its twists remain. No problem. My uncle will properly teach you a lesson. Uncle, this bastard has been talking nonsense about you non-stop. Someone like him doesn't deserve to stay alive. Meanwhile, General Letting gathered his power and coldly said, today I'll teach you how to control that filthy mouth of yours. You're only getting beaten because you talk too much. At that moment, Miss Yan grabbed Letting's arm. Please let Han Sheng go. He's not a bad person. Killing him won't benefit you in any way. Han Sheng immediately said, Miss Yan, there's no need to beg these people. I'm honestly shocked that after cultivating for so many years, this man only has this much skill. Then Han Sheng looked directly at the general and said, if you have the chance today, then kill me now. Because if you fail to kill me today, I promise I'll make your life a living hell in the future. Hearing those words, General Letting became even angrier, giving Han Sheng another 366 rage points. Han Sheng then kicked a nearby pot and shouted, even if I die today, I'll drag your Yang family down with me. The shockwave from Letting's next hammer strike sent everyone nearby flying backward. Han Sheng thought, I dodged that attack just in time, and at the same time, his own attack knocked down his entire army. Now this bastard is going to give me even more rage points. Han Sheng mocked him again. General, I never expected you to be this cruel. These poor soldiers were only supporting you, and yet you attacked them too. Even your own nephew got caught in your attack. Enraged, Letting shouted, I never intended to hurt them. It's all your fault that I ended up attacking my own people. Han Sheng shrugged. Your attack hit your own men, yet you're blaming me? Look, if you have electric powers, you should learn to control them properly. Though I guess things would be different if you intentionally enjoy hurting your own people and blaming others afterward. Han Sheng then secretly thought, with the points I have now, I should upgrade my Soul Palm. Otherwise, I won't survive his next attack. Walking toward Han Sheng, Letting growled, no one has ever frustrated me this much before. Han Sheng casually replied, I'm not frustrating you. Your IQ is just too low to understand what I'm saying. Right now, there's only one thing you can do. Get beaten by me. Letting laughed coldly. You think you can beat me? You shouldn't dream about things you can never accomplish. I'm already at the first stage of the Earth Realm. A mere yellow rank cultivator like you can't possibly harm me. My next attack will finish you. As Han Sheng saw the massive hammer rushing toward him, he thought, there's nothing I can do now. This guy used his full power. I'm definitely about to suffer a devastating injury. But just then, someone suddenly used chains to stop the hammer midair. Everyone looked over in shock. Han Sheng's older brother, Han Ran, had arrived, the second greatest genius in the entire southern region. Han Ran calmly said, it's been a long time since we last met, and the first thing I see is my little brother causing trouble again. Han Sheng's eyes widened. Big brother, you're back. Han Sheng thought to himself. According to this body's original memories, Han Ran possesses terrifying talent. That's why he left at such a young age to train elsewhere. Dad believed Luyan City didn't have enough resources for him to grow properly. Han Ran then said, Dad sent me a message. He told me that recently you've been causing non-stop trouble and refusing to listen to anyone. He ordered me to come back quickly and keep an eye on you. Han Sheng immediately defended himself. Big brother, I don't create trouble. Trouble finds me. The situation has gotten so bad that every time I try to do something good, some disaster always happens. I came here to save a beautiful princess, and somehow ended up offending the Imperial Guards instead. Hanran then returned the hammer, and calmly said, I'm returning your magical weapon. My younger brother offended you. Please forgive him for this. But the general angrily replied, my nephew has already been seriously injured because of this brat. Then Yang pointed at Han Sheng and shouted, why are you hiding behind your brother now? Earlier, you were acting all arrogant, saying you'd do this and that. But now you're hiding behind your big brother like a coward. Han Sheng immediately answered, to hell with bravery. Only an idiot would fight head-on when standing next to a powerful big brother. Listen carefully. A son can never teach his father how to live, and someone who trolls the entire world can never be out-trolled by a rookie like you. Even if you stand there provoking me all day, I'm still not stepping out from behind my brother. But if our positions were reversed, I would have dragged you out and beaten you 10 times already. That's the difference between us. Han Sheng's words made General Leding furious once again, earning Han Sheng another 100 rage points. Han Sheng continued provoking him. If you really drank your mother's milk properly, then come fight me. Why are you hiding there like a coward? Meanwhile, Hanran silently observed everything and thought, my brother's cultivation has increased dramatically. He's already reached the second stage of yellow rank. I never expected his cultivation to improve this much in such a short time. Han Sheng continued mocking the general. You kept begging for a chance to fight me. Well, now you have your chance. Attack me with everything you've got. The general immediately attacked Han Sheng again, but Han Sheng instantly hid behind his brother. Then he smugly said, your speed is way too slow. Your attack couldn't even touch me. At this point, General Leding was becoming more and more enraged, while Han Sheng continuously gained rage points from provoking him. Han Sheng kept repeating the same annoying tactic over and over again. Finally, the exhausted general shouted, how long are you going to keep running like this? If you have any courage at all, then stand still and fight me properly. Meanwhile, Han Ran said, Father wrote in his letter that you've completely stopped listening to anyone. And after seeing you myself, I can tell he was absolutely right. You're becoming more and more mischievous every single day. But I have to admit, your provoking skills have become incredible. That general clearly knows you're going to run away, yet he still can't stop himself from attacking you. Han Sheng grinned and replied, Big brother, like I said, I never do bad things to anyone. I only came here to meet the princess. This guy barged in like a stray dog, so this whole mess is his fault. Hearing that, the general furiously shouted, Who are you calling a dog? Letting thought to himself, this brat's brother is one of the strongest geniuses of this generation. If the two of them attack me together, I won't stand a chance. Forget it. I should focus on the mission I came here for. Then he signaled his soldiers. Capture the princess. The guards immediately stepped forward. Princess, you must return with us. But Han Sheng instantly moved forward and shouted, How dare you touch the princess? Han Ran watched carefully and thought, my brother is using the phantom step technique. That's an extremely difficult movement skill, and he already mastered it? Well, no matter how troublesome he is, at least his cultivation has improved significantly. The next second, Han Sheng slapped both guards away. As long as I'm here, none of you are taking the princess anywhere. Then he gently held the princess and asked, Are you all right? The princess softly replied, Thank you for saving me. Leding roared in anger, Take your filthy hands off the princess. A commoner like you doesn't even deserve to touch her. But before he could continue, Han Ran used his weapon and slammed Leding to the ground. Han Sheng smirked. You and your nephew have the exact same problem. Can't you see that the princess knows me very well? The danger here isn't me, it's all of you. The princess herself wants to stay with me. You're the ones trying to drag her away by force. And if you really belong to the princess's father's army, then that means she's your young miss. So tell me, since when do soldiers tie up and drag away their own young miss? That's unbelievably disrespectful. Struggling to get up, the general growled, Do you even realize what you're doing? You're going against the martial king. At that moment, the furious General Yang gave Han Sheng another 200 rage points. You're stopping the princess from returning for her marriage. Do you understand how serious this is? The consequences of your actions could be catastrophic. Miss Yan suddenly stepped forward. General Yang, young Master Han Sheng is not forcing me to stay here. I'm staying because I want to. And yes, it's true that you're trying to take me away against my will. General Yang frowned. Princess, this man must have cast some kind of spell on you. You're not thinking clearly. Han Sheng immediately laughed. I didn't cast any spell. My charm is just too overwhelming. Girls simply can't resist me. Han Ran calmly added, The truth is obvious now. The princess is staying here by her own choice. General, if you promise not to trouble my brother or the princess again, then I'll let you leave. Your soldiers are badly injured and need immediate treatment. You don't have the luxury to waste time here. After a moment of hesitation, Leding finally said, Fine, I promise. If you let me leave, I won't trouble your brother again. Han Ran nodded. All right, then I'll release you. But Han Sheng suddenly interrupted. Wait a second, big brother. I know this guy will definitely come after me again later, but I'm not forgiving him for what he already did. Earlier, his attacks scraped my back. I counted every single punch he threw at me. And as for his nephew, that idiot falsely accused me, causing me severe emotional trauma. On top of that, this guy keeps scaring innocent people with his ugly face. So today, I'm solving all these problems at once. The general gritted his teeth. Han Sheng, you're going too far. Han Sheng casually replied, I don't think you understand your current position. Do you seriously think you can negotiate with me? You only have one option here. Accept my punishment with a smile. Then Han Sheng raised both hands. Look carefully. One of my hands contains a stone. If you choose the correct hand, then you'll have to sing the song Espresso. But if you choose the wrong hand, I'll slap you 3 times as hard as I can. The general's face twitched. Both options are humiliating. But what choice do I even have? I can't even free myself from this weapon. Then he stubbornly said, no matter what you do, I refuse to obey you. The next second, Han Sheng kicked him directly in the leg, earning another 300 rage points. Tearing up in pain, the general shouted, "You're not human. You're an animal." Han Sheng nodded seriously. You just admitted I'm an animal. And yet you still expect me to understand human reasoning? Listen carefully. You only have one option. If you refuse to obey me, I won't let you go. Finally, the general chose Han Sheng's right hand. Han Sheng burst into laughter. My friend, you're very unlucky. There's nothing in this hand. So congratulations. You've won 3 slaps. Panicking, the general shouted, No, don't do it. I'll sing. I know every song of Sabrina Carpenter. I'll sing all of them one by one. Just please don't slap me. But Han Sheng ignored him and immediately started slapping him repeatedly. That alone earned him another 388 rage points. Han Sheng waved his hand in disgust. I was trying to hit the general, but this guy launched a gas attack on me instead. Now my hands smell awful. What a disgusting man. Meanwhile, Miss Yan stared in disbelief. My father's most respected general, the man who never bows to anyone. And today I'm watching him get beaten like this. This is probably the first time in history someone has humiliated General Yang so badly. At that moment, Han Ran finally recalled his weapon. As he retreated, General Yang glared at Han Sheng and said, Han Sheng, remember this day well. I will never forget what you did to me today. And one day, I'll definitely take revenge. Han Sheng casually waved him off. Next time, clean your stomach before coming here. Your gas is leaking everywhere. After the soldiers left, Miss Yan worriedly asked, Young Master Han Sheng, aren't you afraid they might attack you again someday? They weren't lying. The person you offended today is an extremely powerful general. Han Sheng smiled fearlessly. I threw the word fear out of my dictionary a long time ago. The moment I was born with this sharp tongue, that day, fear stopped existing for me. And besides, if helping a beautiful girl like you gets me into trouble, then honestly, that's still an honor for me. But deep inside, Han Sheng was thinking something completely different. I earned a ridiculous amount of rage points because of her. And if she stays with me, I'll keep earning even more. She's basically a walking treasure chest. Why wouldn't I help her? Meanwhile, Miss Yan blushed deeply. Young Master Han Sheng, thank you so much. She thought to herself, no matter how rude or reckless he acts, he actually has a very kind heart. But why is my face getting so hot? And why is my heart beating this fast? Meanwhile, the soldiers whispered nervously among themselves. It looks like Han Sheng cast some kind of love spell on our young mistress. Otherwise, there's no way the princess would fall for an ordinary guy like him. She's even ignoring the Martial King's orders because of him. General Yang nervously muttered, We can't go back empty-handed. If we fail to bring Princess Yan back, the Martial King will be furious, and our positions could be severely downgraded. Just then, Chenju suddenly stepped forward. Wait a second, you only need the princess back, right? Well, I have a perfect plan to separate her from Han Sheng. The general looked toward him. And who are you? Chenju respectfully answered, My name is Chenju. I belong to the Chen family of Luyan City. The general narrowed his eyes. Kid, your strength is nothing compared to Han Sheng's. So what exactly can you do? Chenju smirked. Not every problem needs to be solved with brute force. Sometimes you need to use your brain. It's true that I can't defeat Han Sheng with strength, but I know his greatest weakness. When Han Sheng was younger, he was attacked by an evil spirit, and ever since then, he's been terrified of ghosts. Even hearing ghost stories makes him panic. His hands and legs stop working properly. So even if you use a fake ghost, he'll still be scared to death. And luckily for us, I brought along a very special evil spirit with me. One that looks completely real. And it's more than enough to terrify Han Sheng. The general smiled excitedly and said, You've done an amazing job. That shameless Han Sheng deserves to be dealt with like this. If you're helping me this much, then obviously you're not doing it for free. So tell me, what reward do you want? Chenju immediately replied, I've always dreamed of joining the Imperial Army, but I never got the opportunity to enlist. The general nodded. That's easy. I promise you this. If your plan succeeds, I'll personally take you to the military camp. Chenju smiled. Thank you, General. You just prepare to take me there. As for the plan, consider it already successful. Tonight is going to be a very long night for Han Sheng. The scene then shifted to the Han mansion. Han Sheng was hanging upside down from the roof while Wen Guan angrily shouted, You brat! If you have any courage, then get down here. Everywhere you go, you create trouble. One day you're going to offend someone so powerful that our entire Han family will be wiped out. I'm still looking for that fraud fortune teller who claimed at your birth that you would change the world someday. If I had known the great change you'd bring was destroying the Han family, I would have thrown him out immediately. You stay completely silent in front of me, but in front of outsiders, your mouth never shuts up. Because of Wenguan's anger, Han Sheng gained another 488 rage points. Butler Du quickly stepped in. Patriarch, please calm down. Young master only wanted to help the princess. His intentions weren't bad. Wenguan sighed heavily. Do you think I'd get angry just because he helped someone? He slapped General Yang Letting in the face today. I can still handle his current behavior. But what happens if he starts doing this to even stronger people in the future? Then none of us will be able to protect him. Princess Yan apologized softly. I'm sorry. It feels like I caused trouble for your family. Hanran shook his head. This is nothing. Our family deals with much bigger problems all the time. This is practically brother's daily routine. He's been creating trouble his entire life. Ever since childhood, he's been like a mischievous monkey. Wherever he goes, chaos follows. Princess Yan looked around and smiled faintly. But honestly, it's kind of fun watching your family argue like this. I've never experienced anything like this in my own family. That's why my home never truly felt complete. Wenguan then looked seriously at Han Sheng. You're only in the yellow realm right now. You're already acting this arrogantly. Do you know what people say in the cultivation world? Anyone below the earth realm is nothing more than an ant. If you keep behaving like this, one day a truly powerful cultivator will kill you. If your brother hadn't arrived in time today, that general would have crippled you. At this point, I'm honestly thinking about breaking your legs and forcing you to stay home. At least that way, you'd stay alive. Han Sheng suddenly jumped down and said, Dad, I'm already in the yellow realm now, and I've also started training my ki. I'll reach the earth realm soon enough. When I was doing nothing, you called me useless. And now that I've started cultivating, you're saying the realm I reached is useless too. Wenguan rubbed his forehead and turned toward Hanran. Hanran, explain to your brother how dangerous this world really is. He thinks he's already some incredible cultivator. He needs to understand reality. Hanran nodded. When cultivators begin training, the first stage is ki gathering. That strengthens the body far beyond a normal human. After that comes the ki opening stage. That stage prepares the body to handle spiritual energy properly. Only after mastering that stage can someone truly learn techniques. And after completing all that, one finally enters the first true cultivation realm, the yellow realm. Many people also call it the mortal realm. You've only just entered the yellow realm after strengthening your body. But once you reach the earth realm, you'll be able to use your spiritual power properly, and your strength will increase several times over. For example, right now your attack might destroy 1 stone, but after reaching the earth realm, the same attack could destroy 5 stones at once. However, breaking into the earth realm is extremely difficult. You first need to reach the 5th stage of the yellow realm, and your combat techniques must also reach the 5th level. Only when your body and techniques reach the same level can you break through. Wenguan continued. And achieving both at the same time is incredibly hard. That's why countless cultivators remain stuck forever before reaching the earth realm. And if someone fails during the breakthrough, the consequences can be terrifying. Your body could suffer permanent damage. In some cases, people become crippled forever and lose the ability to cultivate entirely. Hanran added, he's right. It took me 3 full years just to break through. Reaching the earth realm is unbelievably difficult. Han Sheng silently thought, from the way they're talking, cultivation sounds ridiculously hard. But I already have over 6,400 rage points. With that, I can probably level up at least once or twice. Suddenly, Han Sheng's system appeared before him. Congratulations, host. You have now reached the 5th stage of the yellow realm. Then the system girl suddenly kissed Han Sheng on the forehead. Completely shocked, Han Sheng shouted, What the hell? Who are you? Seeing Han Sheng suddenly collapse to his knees, everyone became worried. Han Sheng, are you alright? Miss Yanlan gasped in surprise. Did he just break through again? Han Ran stared in disbelief. How is this even possible? How can someone break through so easily in such a short amount of time? Meanwhile, Han Sheng was still confused. There was a girl standing in front of me just now. Who was she? Or did I imagine the whole thing? At that moment, Miss Yanlan suddenly hugged him happily. Young Master Han Sheng, congratulations! You reached the Earth Realm so quickly. Even Wenguan was stunned. Just a few days ago, this brat was known as the family disgrace. And now he's become the youngest cultivator in the entire city. You might have even surpassed Hanran in cultivation speed. But seriously, how can your brother be this extraordinary? Hanran quickly asked. Brother, how do you feel? You're not feeling any pain in your body, right? Han Sheng shook his head excitedly. No, brother. I actually feel amazing. You were right. Spiritual energy is incredible. It feels like my body became 5 times stronger. Now it doesn't matter whether it's the Liang family, the Chen family, or the Shenguan family. Even if all 3 families attack me together, I'm not afraid anymore. Wenguan sighed helplessly. Can you ever think about something other than fighting? But I have to admit, you've done very well these past few days. Now go get some rest. When spiritual energy first enters the body, it exhausts the body heavily. If you don't rest properly, it can become dangerous. Han Sheng thought to himself, a while ago Dad was furious, but the moment I started leveling up, he suddenly became polite. Wang Guan then turned toward Princess Yan. Princess, I didn't notice you properly earlier, but welcome to the Han family. As long as you stay here, we'll guarantee your safety. Your room has already been prepared. You may go rest whenever you wish. Princess Yan bowed politely. Thank you very much, Elder. After leaving the hall, Han Sheng stretched tiredly. Finally, I can get some rest now. I've been working non-stop since morning. But suddenly, Princess Yan walked up to him and hugged him tightly. Softly, she asked, there's something I want to know. We barely even know each other. So why did you risk your life to help me? Han Sheng casually replied, haven't you heard? Helping people is a good thing. That's why I helped you. Princess Yan looked at him carefully. There wasn't any other reason. Han Sheng blinked. What other reason could there be? Princess Yan lowered her head shyly and thought, young Master Han Sheng helped me simply because he's a genuinely kind person. And here I was overthinking everything. Princess Yan softly said, after everything you've done for me, I want to repay you somehow. Han Sheng immediately waved his hands. No, there's really no need for that. But Princess Yan gently placed a pill in his hand. Han Sheng looked confused. What's this? Princess Yan explained, this is a key recovery pill. You used a huge amount of energy during today's fight. After taking this, all of your exhausted energy will recover. And once again, thank you for helping me. After saying that, she returned to her room to rest. Back in his room, Han Sheng sighed to himself. Seriously, this princess really knows how to twist conversations. When she said she wanted to repay me, my imagination went completely wild. And in the end, she just handed me a pill and left. Well, whatever. With how handsome I am, she'll definitely come to me one day. And next time, instead of a pill, she'll be the one in my arms. Suddenly, the system's voice echoed in his head. Host, you really shouldn't say things like that. Han Sheng jumped in shock. Who said that? The system replied cheerfully, it's me, your rage system. My real name is Little Naughty, but you can call me Little N. Han Sheng widened his eyes. That voice, I recognize it. When I broke through earlier, you appeared in front of me. The system explained, yes, Master, that was me. You could say that was my human form. As you level up, the system evolves as well. In the beginning, I could only speak to you faintly. Later, I started appearing before you as a system interface. And now that you've reached the 5th stage of the Yellow Realm, I've gained independent awareness. I can now tell what's beneficial for you and what isn't. And if you continue reaching higher realms, I'll eventually gain a complete physical body. My abilities will also become much stronger. Excited? Han Sheng grinned. That's awesome. So the system can evolve alongside me too? But wait, where exactly are you right now? Can anyone besides me hear you? Little N replied, no, host. I've already fused with your mind. You could say your mind and mine are now connected. That's why I have access to all your memories and thoughts. You watched 1086 movies in your previous world, and every single one of them is stored in my memory now. Han Sheng suddenly became emotional. You just reopened old wounds. After coming to this world, where am I supposed to watch movies that good again? Embarrassed, Little N complained. Host, does your brain ever think about anything pure? Out of those 1086 movies, there probably weren't even 6 you could safely watch with your family. Your mind is filled with nothing but trash. Han Sheng immediately protested. Do you know how much money I spent buying all those movies? I bought expensive movies. And now you watched everything for free and still have the nerve to complain? If you've seen all of them, then you should actually pay me. Just then, someone knocked on the door. Han Sheng instantly got excited. Who could it be at this hour? Don't tell me the princess came here. She must have realized a single pill isn't enough to repay such a huge favor. She probably came to thank me properly this time. As he opened the door, Han Sheng smiled confidently. You sure made me wait. But before he could finish, Evil Spirit suddenly appeared and lunged at him with an attack. Han Sheng instantly dodged backward in shock. What the hell? A living ghost? This ghost looks terrible. She only fell once and already managed to dirty the entire room. Han Sheng immediately started shouting. Dad, brother, where are you guys? A ghost attacked me. Come save me already. Inside his mind, Han Sheng complained. There's no way I'm touching this filthy ghost and dirtying my hands. It's better if Dad and brother handle this instead. But even after waiting for a while, nobody came. Han Sheng became confused. Why isn't anyone coming? This stupid ghost filled the entire room with mist. I can barely see anything in here. Forget this, I'm leaving the room. She probably won't be able to use the mist outside. But the moment he stepped outside, a one-eyed ghost suddenly appeared right in front of him. Han Sheng nearly screamed. What is this? A buy one get one free deal? I don't even know how to deal with ghosts. If my attacks don't work on them, then I'm completely screwed. And on top of that, these things are ugly as hell. Just looking at them is ruining my mood. Whatever, let's try attacking first. Han Sheng immediately struck both ghosts. To his surprise, the attacks actually landed. That's amazing. I thought I wouldn't be able to touch ghosts, but soul power can actually injure them. Then he grabbed the one-eyed ghost by the head and smirked. You came here to scare me, right? You have no idea how badly you messed up. Today I'll teach you what true fear looks like. The things you failed to learn while alive. I'll teach you after death. As he spoke, Han Sheng casually cut off the ghost's hair, earning himself another 158 rage points. Han Sheng's eyes lit up. So even evil spirits can generate rage points? This is incredible. Time to farm points non-stop. He immediately started bullying the ghost mercilessly, continuously gaining rage points. After a few minutes, Han Sheng was ecstatic. I already earned over 3,000 rage points. This ghost is basically a walking treasure chest. He then proudly declared, "You've only learned the first step of bullying. Now I'll show you the true meaning of fear. You'll become the biggest victim in the entire ghost world." At that moment, the enraged ghost charged toward him again, while the second ghost also rushed in to attack. But suddenly, Princess Yan appeared and instantly destroyed both ghosts with a single strike. She hurried toward Han Sheng. "Young Master Han Sheng, are you alright?" Han Sheng looked devastated. "You killed my rage point generators. I could have farmed so many more points from them." Princess Yan blinked in confusion. "You don't need to be afraid anymore. I already killed all the evil spirits." Han Sheng coughed awkwardly. "Who said I was scared?" Inside his mind, however, he panicked. How am I supposed to explain that she interrupted my cultivation training? Then Han Sheng looked at her curiously. "So you can kill ghosts too? That means you're also a cultivator?" Princess Yan smiled. "If I wasn't a cultivator, do you think escaping from the Martial King's palace would have been easy?" At that moment, Han Ran arrived. "Little brother, are you finally not afraid of ghosts anymore?" Wenguan calmly added. "Don't praise him too much. These ghosts were only in the yellow realm. Killing weak ghosts like them isn't anything impressive." Han Sheng instantly realized the truth. "So that's why nobody came to help me. Dad must have sensed the ghosts from the start and ordered everyone not to interfere. He wanted me to face them myself. Seriously, they really don't care whether I live or die. No matter how dangerous the situation is, they just throw me into it." Han Sheng then shrugged. "Brother, it doesn't matter whether Dad praises me or not. He already admitted I'm the fastest cultivator of the new generation. That basically means I surpassed him already. So why would he praise me?" Wenguan narrowed his eyes. "You brat really became sharp-tongued. But since you're cultivating so quickly, I'll give my fastest cultivator a mission tomorrow. You'll go with your brother, and your mission is to infiltrate an evil spirit nest and fight them." Han Sheng froze in horror. "What kind of insane mission is that?" Wenguan explained. "A large number of evil spirits have appeared outside Yunnan town, and I'm sending you there to eliminate them." Inside his mind, Wenguan thought, a seal had been placed outside Yunnan town to prevent evil spirits from entering. But somehow the seal has weakened, and because of that, ghost attacks inside the town have increased dramatically. That's why I'm sending them there. They need to investigate the entire situation. But when Wenguan opened his eyes again, Han Sheng had already disappeared. Wenguan frowned. Where did Han Sheng go now? Suddenly, Han Sheng's crying voice echoed from afar. "Dad, I don't want to leave you. How can you send your precious little son to fight evil spirits? I have absolutely no interest in fighting. I want to live peacefully and spend the money you worked so hard to earn. You already have powerful fighters like Butler do. Why not send them instead? If I don't spend your hard-earned money, then it'll just go to waste." Wenguan's face darkened instantly. "Before I lose my temper and take out my stick, disappear from my sight." Han Sheng immediately changed his tone. "Look, the mission you're giving me is extremely dangerous. If anyone else had asked me to do this, I would have refused immediately. But because you're my one and only father, I'll do it. Still, every job has a price. I want 10,000 silver taels for this mission." Wenguan narrowed his eyes. "I thought you genuinely cared about ordinary people, but it seems I was wrong. You only care about money. Today I'll either beat some sense into you, or your brother and I will personally drag you there. Even dogs become obedient when raised properly. You're my own son, yet you refuse to listen to me." Han Ran quickly grabbed his father to calm him down. "Dad, no matter how troublesome Han Sheng is, he's still family. Don't act so impulsively. You'll regret it later." Han Sheng immediately complained. "See, this is exactly how rich people behave. The moment a poor worker asks for payment, you people start trying to beat him. Just admit it. You don't want to pay. You're trying to make me work for free." At that moment, Han Sheng gained another 88 rage points from Wenguan. Han Ran sighed helplessly. "Little brother, stop fooling around already. You should listen to father. Based on what he explained, the situation sounds extremely dangerous. We should leave immediately and save the people in town." Han Sheng suddenly raised a hand. "Wait a second, brother." Then he tied a ribbon around his forehead and smirked. "There's someone I still need to settle things with. Once I get my revenge, we can leave." Inside his mind, Han Sheng thought, the mastermind behind that stupid plan has to be nearby. It's time to teach him a lesson. Outside the mansion, Chenju was secretly standing against a wall with his ear pressed against it. Chenju muttered, "There was so much screaming earlier." But suddenly Han Sheng stopped shouting. The guy used to panic just hearing the words evil spirit. And I sent 2 actual evil spirits after him. I guarantee he was so terrified he probably wet himself. He probably fainted too. The funniest outcome would be if he actually died from fear. Suddenly, violent winds began swirling around him. Chenju froze in fear. Why does it feel like some terrifying evil spirit is approaching me? At that exact moment, Han Sheng slowly appeared in front of him and said in a creepy voice, "Give me back my life. If you don't return my life, I'll kill you." Chenju nearly collapsed from fear. "It's Han Sheng's ghost." Han Sheng smirked inwardly. "Oh, he's trying to run away?" Instantly, Han Sheng used ghost fire on him. Chenju screamed, "Please forgive me. Spare me." Han Sheng snorted. "So you're actually just a scared little cat. Look carefully. I'm obviously still alive. And let me tell you, your entire plan failed miserably, but your courage really has grown. You actually dared to send evil spirits after me. So tell me, what punishment should you receive?" Then Han Sheng suddenly looked shocked. "Wait a minute. Chenju, why are you wearing red underwear? Are you preparing to become Superman or something?" Chenju panicked. "No, it's not like that. Please forgive me. I only sent those evil spirits as a prank. I would never dare try to kill you." Han Sheng cracked his knuckles. "So you used evil spirits to prank me? Fine. Now I'll use Soul Palm to prank you. If you survive 10 strikes from me, I'll let you go. But if you die, then that's your own problem." Chenju dropped to his knees. "Please forgive me. I was wrong. I don't know where I got the courage to do something so stupid." Han Sheng coldly replied, "I think you've started seeing yourself as a lion. But don't forget, dogs also have 4 legs. And you're not a lion. You're just a dog. If you don't want me to beat you to death, then think of a way to entertain me. Otherwise, I won't hesitate to kill you." Chenju trembled in fear. There's no point resisting. This guy is completely insane. He might actually kill me. Sisters, Mom, Dad, please forgive me. Today I'm about to become the greatest disgrace of the Chen family. Probably nobody in our family has ever done something this humiliating before. With tears in his eyes, Chenju began dancing awkwardly. The system announced, "You received 0.8 rage points from Chenju." Han Sheng sighed in disappointment. "I seriously wasted my time on this guy. He doesn't get angry at all." As Han Sheng walked away, he gave him one final warning. "Take this as a warning. This time I only burned your clothes. But next time, I'll burn something else." Meanwhile, Chenju trembled in fear. Finally, it's over. At this point, I'll never be able to compete with Han Sheng. And keeping the promise I made to General Yang Letting is becoming impossible. I should just run away. That's probably the smartest option for me now. But just then, Letting suddenly appeared in front of him. "Where do you think you're going? You made a promise to us. And do you know what happens to people who break promises made to the military?" Chenju instantly dropped to his knees. "General Yang, please forgive me. We only failed because we underestimated Han Sheng. He's become far more dangerous than before. But I prepared an amazing gift for you. I hope you can forgive me after seeing it." One of Letting's soldiers examined the item and exclaimed, "This is an incredible treasure. It's so expensive that ordinary people could never afford it. I'd heard the Chen family was rich before, but today I finally understand just how wealthy they really are." Letting narrowed his eyes thoughtfully. "This brat has excellent cultivation talent, and he's extremely rich too. He could be useful in many ways." Then Letting turned around and said, "I understand your intentions now. Don't worry, I'll report your contributions properly." Chenju immediately bowed gratefully. "Thank you, General. I knew you'd give me another chance. And since you've shown me such kindness, I'd like to recite a poem for you." But after hearing Chaiju's poem, Letting's expression turned ugly. How can someone write poetry this terrible? I think sparing him might have been a huge mistake. The next morning, Wenguan spoke seriously. "It's been confirmed that the people who sent ghosts into our mansion yesterday belong to the Chen family." Han Ran nodded. Han Sheng deserves credit for exposing them. He pressured Chenju yesterday and caught him red-handed. Otherwise, solving this case later would have been much harder. Wenguan then added, "There's another important matter. The Martial King and the other major families have started working together. I believe they're preparing to move against us, and Princess Yan won't be able to stay here much longer. They'll definitely try something soon to take her back." Han Sheng suddenly raised his hand. "I've got a solution. How about sending the princess with us to fight evil spirits? That way her family won't be able to take her away. Besides, I already arranged 2 sedan cars. My dad is rich anyway, so he can pay for them." Wenguan instantly became furious. "What nonsense are you talking about? Who told you this mission was some luxury vacation? I'm sending you there to sharpen your skills, not to enjoy yourself. This isn't a picnic. Why are you even dressed like this?" Then Wenguan awkwardly apologized to the sedan carriers for wasting their time. The sedan carriers complained, "If there wasn't any real work, then why even call us here? Don't waste our time like this again." Han Ran then spoke seriously. Little brother, these evil spirits are extremely dangerous. They've already caused countless problems across the country. Suppressing them is a very important mission. This isn't something to joke about. Han Sheng defended himself immediately. But brother, I wasn't wrong. Yunnan town is really far away. If we walk all the way there, we'll be exhausted before the mission even starts. So using sedan cars would obviously be better. Besides, after we leave, Dad will be the only one staying home. If the martial king and the other families attack together, what's he supposed to do alone? Just then, several martial artists appeared. You don't need to worry. As long as the elders of the Wuji sect are here, nobody will be able to touch the princess. Butler Du stepped forward. Master, I've brought the second and third elders of the Wuji sect just as you requested. There won't be any issues regarding the princess's safety. Han Sheng froze in shock. Wait, Dad is the leader of the Wuji sect? I thought I was just the son of some rich family. But Dad is actually this powerful? Han Ran looked confused. You didn't know? That's strange. Dad already told us about it. That's exactly why he's confident enough to stand against the martial king and all the major families alone. Han Sheng immediately started crying dramatically. Dad, before this I thought you were just strict. But now I realize you're a complete demon. You're sending both your sons to fight evil spirits, even though just 2 people from your sect could wipe them all out easily. Do you seriously enjoy tormenting me this much? Wenguan replied calmly. You complain every single time. If I keep relying on other people forever, then when will you grow stronger? Princess Yan then spoke reassuringly. Young Master Han Sheng, you don't need to worry. General Tank Shushan is stationed in the area you're heading toward. If you encounter any trouble, you can seek his help. I've heard he's an extremely powerful and trustworthy general. Han Sheng instantly grabbed onto that point. Dad, did you hear that? The martial king already has people stationed there. So sending me and brother there is clearly a terrible idea. And think about it. If something happens to us, who's going to support you in your old age? Wenguan shook his head. Tank Shishan can't fight the evil spirits. Their leader is far too powerful. That's exactly why I'm sending the 2 of you. Then, before Han Sheng could continue complaining, Wenguan punched him and knocked him unconscious. He then calmly told Han Ran, take care of your brother, and throw him directly in front of the evil spirits. If he never fights them, then how will he ever learn? With that mouth of his, if he doesn't become stronger soon, he'll eventually get himself killed. Han Ran nodded helplessly. Yes, Dad, I understand. I'll take proper care of him. Soon the brothers arrived at the city gate. Han Sheng slowly woke up while rubbing his head. Dad hit me way too hard. My vision is only coming back now. Did Dad seriously hit me again for no reason? Why does he always beat me up? At that moment, the little girl from Kinli village suddenly appeared. Brother Han Sheng, you're going to Yunnan town, right? Please, before you go, can you save my mom? Han Sheng immediately recognized her. You're from Kinli village, right? I remember now. Your name was Dinner. Han Ran frowned. Why is this child crying? Dad told me you've been helping the village a lot, and everyone's farms are growing well now. So what happened? Tears streamed down Dinner's face. Everything was fine until yesterday. My mom and dad went to Yunnan town to sell fruit, but bandits attacked them on the road. They robbed them first, and then they took my mom away. They said they'll only release her if our village hands over several young girls to them. And since yesterday, my mom still hasn't come home. Han Ran's expression darkened. So this entire incident happened near Yunnan town. I thought only evil spirits were causing trouble there. But bandits are creating chaos too. Han Sheng clenched his fists angrily. In a place already suffering because of evil spirits, these filthy bandits are making things even worse. I was the one who encouraged the villagers to go outside and sell goods. But I never imagined something like this would happen. I'm not letting those bastards go free. Denner, don't worry. I promise I'll bring your mother back safely. Those disgusting bandits dared to harm my friends. And now I swear, they'll cry tears of blood for this. Suddenly, the system announced. New task received. Eliminate all the bandits in Yunnan town. The scene then shifted to Yunnan town. One of the bandits asked nervously, Third Master, do you really think those villagers will bring young girls here? The Third Master smirked confidently. You were waiting so impatiently. And look, they've already arrived. At that moment, Daner appeared while bringing Han Sheng along after disguising him in different clothes. The Third Master grinned wickedly. What a beautiful girl. These villagers seriously had some top-quality goods. And all the other bandits immediately burst into laughter. Meanwhile, the other bandits started shouting excitedly, We've never seen girls this beautiful before. The Third Master laughed greedily. After the leader is done, it'll be my turn next. Today's gonna be amazing. Just then, Han Sheng spoke from behind the veil in a gentle voice. Gentlemen, it seems like you're all planning to have some fun. The Third Master smirked. This girl is pretty bold. But the moment he saw Han Sheng's face, all the excitement on his face disappeared instantly. What the hell is this? We asked for girls. What kind of thing did you people send us? Then he angrily shouted at the bandits, "Brothers, move in. Teach these villagers a lesson. They've gotten way too bold." At the same time, behind them, Han Ran had already defeated all the remaining bandits. The third master panicked and started running away. "These villagers tricked us. They didn't send boys, and they didn't send girls either. They sent something in between." Han Sheng smiled while walking toward him, "Calling us here and then running away from us. That's pretty rude of you." At that moment, Han Sheng received 188 rage points from the third master. Han Sheng proudly declared, "I'm the flower of Lian City, and if people ignore me and make me angry, then I'll have no choice but to become wildfire." As soon as he finished speaking, he used his electric fluke attack and instantly killed the third master. Han Ran sighed helplessly. "To be honest, these bandits were really weak. We could have defeated them easily. So why did you need to create all that drama?" Han Sheng grinned. "I can't work without having fun." Then Han Sheng thought to himself, "There are a lot of mounted bandits here, and I can earn a huge number of rage points from them." The system immediately warned him, "Master, you're becoming too greedy. Don't let your greed make things dangerous for you." Han Sheng shrugged casually. "I'm just killing bandits. What's so dangerous about that?" The system replied seriously, "Host, you're severely underestimating the strength of the people here. The leader of these bandits is already at the first stage of the Earth realm. If you continue acting recklessly, things will become very dangerous for you. Charging directly at their leader is pure stupidity." Han Sheng rolled his eyes. "System, how are you this cowardly even after being a system? You should be staring danger in the eye and challenging it to come closer. And besides, who are you to lecture me? You meeting me wasn't my luck. It was your luck to meet me. You only gain energy because of my greatness. And what's with this host nonsense? Call me master instead. I like hearing people call me master." The third master, who was listening nearby, became confused. Who exactly is this guy talking to? Wait, is he telling me to call him master? After the system disappeared, Han Sheng muttered, "This system seriously annoys me sometimes." The frightened third master quickly said, "Master, I'm calling you master now. Are you happy?" Han Ran stared at his little brother in disbelief. "I could have accepted it if my little brother liked girls, but how did his preferences become this weird?" Han Sheng immediately waved his hands. "I wasn't talking to you. You don't need to call me master. And brother, please don't misunderstand me. I'm 100% straight." Soon, as the brothers approached the bandits' hideout, two guards stopped them. "What are you doing here? No one enters without permission." Han Sheng looked around mockingly. "Why does a bandit hideout need so much security? What do you think someone's going to steal from you? You people are already poor beggars surviving on what you robbed from others." The gatekeeper Lu became furious and Han Sheng instantly received 88 rage points. Lu pointed his spear at him. "How dare you insult us?" Han Sheng casually pointed toward the third master. "He's the one who told me to say all this. If you want revenge, deal with him." Gatekeeper Lu shouted angrily. "You can't fool us. We know he's our third master. Hurry up and release him. Then we'll bring our boss here personally." Han Sheng smirked. "Tell your boss to clean his neck before he comes. I don't want garbage splashing onto my clothes." After hearing the report, the bandit leader finally appeared. His name was Ji Dahu, the boss of the Black Dragon bandits. Dahu coldly sneered, "I don't care which bastard came here, but after talking this much trash in my territory, there's no way you're leaving alive. Did those idiots seriously think I'd let them go? Take me to the brat who's been talking all this nonsense." Meanwhile, Han Sheng impatiently waited outside. "What's taking them so long?" Suddenly, Dahu appeared and attacked Han Sheng without warning. Han Sheng barely dodged the strike, and immediately thought, "So this is the power of the first stage of the Earth realm. Perfect. I can test my current strength against him, and he'll also help me earn a lot of rage points." The two of them instantly exchanged punches. Han Sheng realized something immediately. His boxing technique is incredible. Looks like I'm finally going to take some real damage. The next moment, Dahu landed a powerful punch that sent Han Sheng flying backward. Han Ran quickly rushed forward to protect him. "Brother, are you alright? You're not badly hurt, are you?" Dahu laughed arrogantly. "You people sure are bold. You dared to invade our territory. I don't care if one of you came here, two of you came here, or even 10 of you came here. All of you are going to die." Han Ran turned toward Han Sheng seriously. "Han Sheng, give up. This guy is extremely strong. You can't defeat him. Let me handle this fight." But Han Sheng shook his head. "No, brother. I'll fight him myself. Today you were here to save me, but what if someday you aren't beside me? How would I survive then? That's why I need to fight my own battles." Then Han Sheng thought calmly, "I still have plenty of rage points left. I was only testing how strong I currently am. After increasing my cultivation, I definitely won't let this bastard go." As he spoke, Han Sheng immediately started using his rage points to level up. Then he pointed directly at Dahu. "So you're the leader of the Black Dragon bandits. You're the one causing chaos throughout Yunnan town. And your bandits have attacked Kinley village many times too." Dahu laughed proudly. "You're absolutely right. Whenever we run low on money, we simply come down from the mountains. And it doesn't matter whether it's Kinley Village or Yunnan Village. We rob everything. You people from the normal world use gold and silver as currency. But for us, human lives are our currency. We kill people to earn it, and we kill people to spend it too. Han Sheng's expression turned cold. You're complete trash. You enjoy other people's suffering. And today, I'm gonna make you pay for every crime you committed. You enjoy killing people so much, right? Then try experiencing what it feels like to die yourself. The moment he finished speaking, both of them charged at each other again. Dahu suddenly became shocked. What's happening? This kid wasn't fighting like this before. But suddenly, he became much stronger. Then Han Sheng unleashed a powerful palm strike that blasted Dahu straight into a wall. The system announced, you received 188 rage points from Dahu. Dahu immediately started trembling in fear. Please forgive me. I failed to recognize your true strength. But Han Sheng attacked him again mercilessly. It's a good thing you didn't recognize me. At first I thought you people only robbed others out of desperation, but you actually enjoy hurting people. That's exactly why your punishment should match your crimes. The more Han Sheng beat Dahu, the more rage points he gained. The remaining bandits stared in horror. We can barely even recognize our leader anymore. This guy is terrifying. Han Sheng sighed in disappointment. This guy was the leader of the bandits, but he barely gave me any rage points. I spent more rage points fighting him than I earned. Afterward, Han Sheng burned down the entire bandit hideout. This place caused pain to countless innocent people. And some painful memories are better erased forever. Stealing people's lives just to fill your own pockets. There's nothing more disgusting than that. That's why today, we completely destroyed the Black Dragon bandits forever. Then Han Sheng turned toward dinner and Miss Dunn. You two can go home now. Return safely to Kinley Village and rest peacefully. From now on, no one will ever trouble you again. Dinner gratefully said, Han Sheng, thank you so much for saving my mom. You truly are a real hero. You're someone who can risk his own life just to protect others. And in the future, I want to become strong through cultivation just like you, so I can bravely protect my people too. Han Sheng proudly replied, when you start cultivating, come to me first. I'll teach you some dangerous special moves. Meanwhile, someone had been secretly watching everything from above. As he walked down, the man respectfully said, young masters, greetings. Han Ran calmly explained, these bandits committed many terrible crimes. That's why it would be dangerous to let them roam free. I've already called the talisman division of our Wuji sect so they can capture them. Meanwhile, we'll continue and complete our mission. Han Sheng smiled. Brother, you're actually pretty smart. You've proven that you really are my older brother. Looks like your brain works too. The talisman master then warned them seriously. Young masters, the yin energy here is extremely dangerous. Would you like to come with me to the foot of the mountain? Han Sheng looked confused. Yin energy? What's that? The talisman master explained. Yin energy is a type of cold energy released by evil spirits and dark entities. In my opinion, someone has created a formation here that's generating a huge amount of yin energy. Han Sheng immediately looked toward Dahu. So why are you living on this mountain? Where's all this yin energy coming from? Dahu nervously replied, I swear I don't know anything about it. This mountain used to be empty, so we built our base here. We honestly know nothing else. Han Sheng immediately started thinking deeply. Wait a second. The Imperial Army arrived here long before us. They definitely know about this situation already. So why didn't they do anything about the bandits? That means Uncle Tank must be a complete bastard. He's probably taking money from the bandits. That's why the bandits were able to operate safely while innocent people suffered. It's shocking that members of the Imperial Army are secretly working together with bandits. Suddenly, strange sounds echoed from nearby. Han Sheng turned around and saw several evil spirits approaching them. The spirits grinned hungrily. Looks like today we finally found some delicious food. We normally don't get meals this good. The talisman master immediately panicked. Ghosts have appeared. I'm taking everyone outside right now. As everyone began retreating, Han Sheng quickly turned toward Han Ran. Brother, did you hear what the talisman master said? This place has become extremely dangerous. I'm leaving too. But Han Ran immediately stopped him. No. Father sent you here with me for exactly this reason. Go, little brother. Gain some real experience. The moment he finished speaking, Han Ran literally threw Han Sheng toward the ghosts. Han Sheng screamed in betrayal. Brother, I trusted you. But you turned out exactly like Dad. The next second, Han Sheng crashed directly into one of the ghosts. Holding his aching head, he complained. My head hurts so badly. Then a two-headed evil spirit growled. I'm hungry. I need food right now. Han Sheng instantly grabbed the ghost and slammed it into the ground. When was the last time you brushed your teeth? Your breath smells horrible. If you had spoken 3 more sentences, I would have fainted right here. Then he turned toward the remaining ghosts and smirked. So now, only you guys are left. Tell me, how would you like to get beaten up? Soon after defeating all the ghosts, the brothers finally arrived near the home of the evil spirit leader. Han Sheng casually remarked, these guys only look dangerous. They're actually pretty weak. Han Ran immediately warned him seriously, "Brother, don't underestimate them. This is the most dangerous place on the entire mountain, and this evil spirit isn't weak like the others. He's their leader." Suddenly, a terrifying voice echoed from inside the house. "So some weak humans dared to come here. How dare you invade my territory? Don't you know this place belongs to me?" Han Sheng immediately mocked him. "Territory belongs to dogs. So does that mean you're a dog too?" Han Ran quickly panicked. "No, don't provoke him. He's an extremely powerful evil spirit named Spectre. Can't you sense how dangerous his aura is? Provoking him right now is a terrible idea." But Han Sheng secretly became excited. If he's powerful, that means he can give me a ton of rage points. And as long as Big Brother is here, he can't hurt me anyway. That means I can do whatever I want. I just hope this ghost doesn't disappoint me. Then Han Sheng casually picked up a stick and started drawing lines on the ground. Han Ran stared at him in confusion. "Han Sheng, what exactly are you trying to do? You know the seals here have already weakened. We could get attacked at any moment." Han Sheng casually waved him off. "Brother, don't worry. I'm just gonna say hello to Mr. Spectre." Then he walked toward the house and loudly shouted, "So you're the one who was talking just now? You kept bragging about your territory and talking all tough. So why don't you come outside and teach us a lesson properly? Or are you too scared to come out? And what's with that weird light inside your house? Don't tell me you're running some illegal moonlight bar in there. If that's true, then your electricity bill is completely justified." Spectre exploded in anger. "Foolish cultivator. No one in my entire life has dared to joke with me like this. Before I kill you, tell me your name. And how dare you call my home a moonlight bar?" Because of Spectre's anger, Han Sheng immediately gained 388 rage points. Han Sheng thought to himself, "So the military is secretly helping the ghosts too. Looks like it's finally time to teach both my enemies a lesson at once." Then he proudly shouted, "Listen carefully and clean both your ears and your neck, because these hands are going to cut your head off. And the name that will bring about your end is Tank Shishan." Han Sheng secretly smirked. That bastard helped the bandits before. Now he'll finally learn the consequences of doing evil. After that, Han Sheng continued provoking Spectre non-stop. "Why won't you come out of your moonlight bar? You know, even turtles at least stick their heads out once in a while. But you're hiding completely. Your grandpa came here personally to teach you a lesson. So hurry up and come outside." Because of Han Sheng's non-stop insults, he kept earning rage points continuously. Han Sheng laughed loudly. "I've seen many cowards before, but I've never seen anyone as cowardly as you. I insulted you this much and you still won't come out. If you don't come outside right now, I'm gonna pee directly on your gate." Spectre's anger instantly exploded, giving Han Sheng another massive amount of rage points. Finally releasing his full aura, Spectre roared, "I didn't want to come outside, but you forced me to. Today, either you die or I do." Han Sheng immediately realized something. This bastard didn't come alone. He brought his entire gang with him. Spectre furiously shouted, "Disgusting humans. I swear I'll kill every single one of you. But the first person I'm killing is that bastard Tank Shushan. Today he'll learn the punishment for talking too much." At that moment, Han Ran stepped forward. "Tank Shushan won't be fighting you. I'll be your opponent." Han Sheng nervously asked, "Brother, are you seriously going to fight him alone?" Han Ran confidently nodded. "Easily. You just focus on protecting yourself. He's far stronger than you." Han Sheng instantly turned around and started running away. "Thank you very much. That Spectre is way too dangerous." Meanwhile, Spectre roared furiously, "I'm not letting that yellow-clothed brat escape. Brothers, attack. Tear that bastard Tank Shushan apart. He needs to learn what happens when someone provokes us." As all the ghosts chased after him, Han Sheng secretly smiled. "My plan worked perfectly. All these idiots completely fell into my trap. Now I'll teach the Imperial Army a lesson too, and I won't even have to dirty my own hands." Then Han Sheng loudly shouted, "General Tank Shushan, please save me." At that moment, Tank Shushan frowned. "Who's calling my name?" Soon, they saw Tank Shushan himself, the deputy commander of the Imperial Army and a cultivator at the 5th stage of the Earth Realm. But the moment he saw Han Sheng running toward him with an entire army of ghosts chasing behind him, he was completely stunned. Where did all these ghosts come from? Han Sheng quickly ran up beside him. "Finally, I found you. I knew you were the only person in the world who could help me." Tank Shushan stared at him suspiciously. "Who is this strange guy? And why are you talking to me like we already know each other? This is our first meeting." Meanwhile, the evil spirits rushed forward shouting, "So the man in red is Tank Shushan! Our boss ordered us to kill him." Tank Shushan became completely confused. For some reason, every single one of these evil spirits is targeting me. I clearly don't remember offending them. But now that they're already here, we have no choice except to fight. Tank Shushan shouted, "The Martial King ordered us to eliminate every single ghost here. Brothers, move forward. Kill all these ghosts and show them what a huge mistake they made by coming here. But the moment the battle started, the soldiers quickly found themselves struggling badly. Shushan thought nervously, there are way too many evil ghosts here. Meanwhile, his men desperately shouted, "Big brother, what do we do? These ghosts are far too powerful. We can't hold them back." Shushan gritted his teeth. "One by one, all my men are dying. And if this continues, I'll die too." Then, while secretly retreating, Shushan shouted, "Hold these ghosts off for a little while. I'll go bring reinforcements." Han Sheng stared at him in disbelief. How can someone be this shameless? All his men trust him with their lives, and yet he's abandoning them and running away. Han Sheng immediately grabbed him. "General, you can't just run away like this." But as Shushan struggled, his pants suddenly slipped down, exposing his underwear. Han Sheng burst into laughter. "What the hell? You're wearing red duck print underwear?" One of the ghosts immediately shouted. "So this is the answer. All year long, everyone kept asking what color underwear General Shushan wears. And now we finally know. He wears red duck underwear." Shushan screamed furiously, "How dare you do this to me? And you don't even have the right to laugh at our underwear. You ghosts don't wear any underwear at all. You just walk around naked in front of everyone." Han Sheng smirked. "General, why are you running away? I clearly remember you saying these ghosts were nothing in front of you. You said all you had to do was glare at them and they'd get scared. You called yourself a lion and them dogs. So why is the lion running away from dogs now? Go teach them a lesson. Show everyone here who's the lion and who's the dog." The ghosts instantly exploded in anger. "Tank Shushan, you talk way too much. How dare you claim we don't wear underwear? Looks like we'll have to teach you a lesson." Shushan immediately panicked. "I didn't mean it like that. I said it by mistake." At that moment, Han Sheng started receiving a massive amount of rage points from Shushan. Han Sheng secretly became excited. Tank's anger is incredible. I've provoked many powerful masters before, but I've never earned this much profit from anyone. Then Han Sheng looked toward the battlefield. "Let's go see how Brother Inspector's fight is going. And if that bastard Spectre starts losing, I'll farm even more rage points from him." Meanwhile, on the other side, Han Ran and Spectre were locked in a brutal battle. Han Ran launched a powerful attack that even shattered Spectre's seal. Spectre growled, "Boy, I'll admit it, your skills are impressive. You're an excellent cultivator. But now I'm going to get serious. And once I get serious, you're going to die. Now you'll witness the true face of fear." But before he could continue, Han Sheng suddenly threw a pebble at his head. Han Sheng shouted, "Making this much noise for no reason isn't good. You're disturbing the neighbors." Spectre instantly exploded. "You bastard! You came back again?" Han Sheng sighed dramatically. "You have no idea how much I regret calling you out here. Honestly, I've never seen anyone uglier than you, and your voice is physically hurting my ears. You clearly knew how horrible you looked. That's why you stayed hidden inside, right? Good. Self-awareness is important. I've never apologized to anyone in my life, but I'm sorry for dragging your ugly face out in front of everyone." Completely enraged, Spectre instantly attacked Han Sheng. "You insect! You only recently reached the Earth Realm. How dare you enter my territory and insult me like this? I'm going to tear you into pieces." Han Ran immediately realized how dangerous the attack was. This ghost's attack is incredibly powerful. I have to save Han Sheng somehow. Just as the attack was about to hit Han Sheng, Han Ran jumped in front of him and took the attack himself. Han Sheng panicked. "Brother, are you okay?" As Han Ran slowly lost consciousness, he smiled weakly. "As long as my little brother is safe, everything is fine." At that moment, the system suddenly spoke. "Host, you currently possess 6,888 rage points. With those points, you can teach this ghost a lesson." Without hesitation, Han Sheng used all the points instantly. Then he coldly stared at Spectre. "If you wanted trouble, you should have come after me. I might have forgiven you for that, but you dragged my family into this, and now, you're definitely not leaving alive." Spectre suddenly sensed something terrifying. This kid's energy is changing. But how can someone's power rise this much all at once? Han Sheng slowly stepped forward. "Now I'll show you what real power looks like." Then he unleashed a furious barrage of attacks on Spectre, beating him non-stop without mercy. Even Han Ran was shocked after getting back up. "My little brother is terrifying. He's fighting so fiercely. And he reached the second stage of the Earth Realm this quickly? I've never seen anyone break through like this before." Soon after, Han Sheng completely defeated the Ghost King Spectre. But because he forcefully broke through by using too much power, he collapsed unconscious immediately afterward. Han Ran quickly caught him before he fell. He used way too much power. Normally, after a breakthrough, cultivators rest and stabilize their energy. But he used all his power in battle. That's why he passed out. Meanwhile, every ghost fighting tank Sushant suddenly disappeared. The soldiers looked around in confusion. What just happened? Where did all the ghosts go? Does this mean we won? Shushan frowned deeply. The ghosts can't disappear unless the Ghost King of this mountain is killed. But Spectre was extremely powerful. So who killed him? Then he noticed Han Ran standing nearby. If young Master Hanran is here, then he must have done it. The leader ordered me to build relations with the Wuji sect. And now I've met one of their young masters. This is the perfect opportunity. Shushan immediately approached respectfully. Young master, was it you who solved the Ghost King incident? The heroes of the great sect are truly extraordinary. It's amazing to see someone so capable at such a young age. But Hanran calmly replied, I wasn't the one who did it. My little brother defeated the Ghost King. So if you want to thank someone, thank him instead. Tank Shushan instantly froze. Wait, this is the same brat who caused chaos for me last night. Meanwhile, the unconscious Han Sheng started mumbling in his sleep. Han Ran listened carefully and then smiled. My brother says that if you want to thank him, you should kneel first. Shushan was left speechless. This guy is unbelievable. How can someone provoke people even while unconscious? At that moment, Han Sheng received another 388 rage points from Shushan. As they prepared to leave, Han Ran said, My little brother suffered many injuries. If there's nothing else important, we'll be going now. Shushan respectfully bowed. Thank you, young heroes. The courage you showed here today will definitely be reported to the Martial King. On behalf of the Imperial Army, thank you. Later, Han Sheng began dreaming while unconscious. In his dream, he saw Yanlan crying worriedly for him. The moment she saw him, she immediately hugged him tightly. Han Sheng, I was so scared. You're okay, right? But when Han Sheng looked carefully at her face, it suddenly turned into Chenju's face instead. Han Sheng instantly woke up screaming. That was a horrifying nightmare. It's better if I never see dreams like that again. At that moment, Miss Yan spoke softly beside him. Young master, you're finally awake. I've been waiting for you this whole time. Please take this medicine. You were unconscious for 3 entire days. Everyone was extremely worried about you. Han Sheng was shocked. I've been asleep for that long. With tears in her eyes, Miss Yan continued. Brother Han Ran told everyone how you defeated the Ghost King. What you did was incredibly brave, but it was also extremely dangerous. Please take better care of yourself next time. Han Sheng noticed the dark circles under her eyes. She hasn't slept these past 3 days because she was taking care of me. Feeling guilty, he gently said, I'm sorry. I caused everyone so much trouble. But someone like me isn't worth wasting your tears on. You don't understand how precious those tears are. Flustered, Miss Yan quickly ran away. Please take care of yourself. And don't forget to take your medicine on time. Han Sheng looked confused. What happened to Yan Lan? Why is she acting like that? Suddenly, the system appeared beside him. Host, you're surprisingly weak. You know girls don't like weak men. And if you think Miss Yan ran away because she was shy, then you're completely wrong. In reality, girls probably don't like weak guys like you at all. Annoyed, Han Sheng said, How dare you call me weak? Little N replied calmly, If I can't call a weak person weak, then what should I call them? Seriously, who faints just because of low stamina? To be honest, you're the worst host I've ever had. You're weak, and on top of that, you're completely useless. Han Sheng sighed. Yeah, I've heard you call me useless many times already. But look at me. I'm still alive and standing. Little N replied, That was only because you got lucky. That general would have taught you a lesson that day. But Han Ran arrived in time and saved you. And against that Ghost King, you survived only because luck was on your side again. But your luck won't always save you. Han Sheng became thoughtful. When I first came to the city, I thought I had become really powerful. But the more I see the outside world, the more dangerous it feels. There are way too many big shots out there. The system replied, That's exactly why you're weak. You don't even know how to fight properly. Have you ever used a weapon before? You always rush into battle barehanded. Trust me, you should start using a weapon. It'll benefit you greatly. And now the time has finally come for you to obtain one. Han Sheng's eyes lit up. You're gonna give me a weapon? System, you're officially the best system ever. But wait, how are you even going to give me one? You can only provide rage points, right? The system replied, Who said I have to hand everything to you directly? If you rob your own house, you can obtain plenty of treasures. I can sense many incredible artifacts located just 500 meters from your home. If you want, you can claim them. Han Sheng immediately understood. That place isn't 500 meters away from my home. It's literally part of my house. That's our family's treasure vault. Soon, Han Sheng arrived outside the treasure vault. Looking around, he muttered, It's still early morning. So why are these guys already guarding the place? Don't they have breakfast or something? The system mocked him. You haven't eaten anything since morning either. And the moment you got the chance, you immediately came here to steal. Han Sheng rolled his eyes. You've been talking way too much lately. Looks like you've forgotten the lesson I taught you last time. If someone steals from their own house, they aren't called a thief. They're just reclaiming what's rightfully theirs. And judging by the guards, they aren't leaving anytime soon. So we'll need another method. Little N asked. Host, are you giving up already? I thought you were supposed to be courageous. Han Sheng smirked. Idiot. I'm obviously planning to sneak inside. How can you even call yourself a system if you can't understand something this simple? Soon, Han Sheng secretly entered the treasure vault. Inside, countless incredible artifacts were displayed everywhere. Han Sheng stared around in amazement. This place is unbelievable. But choosing just one artifact is going to be incredibly difficult. System, hurry up and tell me which one is the best. Just give me the strongest thing here. At that moment, a sword suddenly floated in front of him. Han Sheng's eyes widened. This sword already looks amazing. It's clearly worthy of being my weapon. The system suddenly panicked. Host, we need to leave immediately. That sword is the most powerful artifact in the entire vault. And because you can't control its power yet, it's releasing massive amounts of energy. At this rate, the entire treasure vault is going to collapse. Han Sheng shouted. Why didn't you tell me that earlier? Before he could react, the entire treasure vault started collapsing. Outside, the guards panicked. What's happening? How did the treasure vault collapse? Moments later, Han Sheng came stumbling out through the rubble. Scratching his head awkwardly, he muttered, Looks like Dad used cheap construction materials. I only used a tiny bit of power, and the whole building collapsed. I seriously need to ask him where all the money went. He's rich but still can't build a decent quality structure. The guards immediately panicked. We need to report this to Elder immediately. Meanwhile, Han Sheng stared at the sword in shock. Just how powerful is this thing? It destroyed an entire building so easily. Little N then said, Please give your sword a name. That way it'll recognize you as its master. Han Sheng nodded proudly. You're right. I still haven't named it, and since I'm such a cool and dominant person, my sword deserves an equally legendary name. The system asked nervously, What name are you planning to give it? Han Sheng proudly declared, From today onward, this sword shall be known as Little Tommy. The system was horrified. Host, this sword possesses its own consciousness. It's a great sword. How can you give it the name of a dog? At that moment, Han Sheng suddenly received 188 rage points from Tommy itself. Han Sheng grinned. Looks like Tommy has quite the temper. Let's test its power. First, I'll try flying on it. Just then, Han Ran arrived with the second elder, Yinzhu. Han Ran asked worriedly, Han Sheng, are you alright? Han Sheng proudly lifted the sword. I'm perfectly fine. I just found an incredible sword. But suddenly, the sword began flying straight toward them on its own. Han Sheng panicked. Brother, move out of the way. This sword is dangerous. It might attack you. The second elder immediately shouted, Han Sheng, what are you doing? Stop it right now. Han Sheng cried helplessly. I want to stop too. But this sword isn't listening to me. I can't control it at all. The next moment, the sword suddenly slammed Han Sheng into the ground. Han Sheng shouted angrily, Tommy, you're terrible. You don't even obey your own master. But then Han Sheng froze in shock. Tommy had completely shredded the second elder's clothes. The furious elder roared, Han Sheng, what have you done? How am I supposed to face people wearing torn clothes like this? Because of the elder's rage, Han Sheng instantly received 688 rage points. The second elder marched toward him furiously. Explain yourself immediately. Han Sheng quickly tried calming him down. Second elder, don't be angry. Torn clothes are fashionable these days. Look, your important parts aren't showing. That means you're still properly dressed. Don't worry, nobody will laugh at you. I guarantee it. And if someone does laugh, you can tear my clothes the same way. Right then, a disciple suddenly rushed in. Elder, someone has arrived to meet you. But the moment the disciple saw the elder's ripped clothes, he immediately burst into laughter. The elder glared furiously at Han Sheng. You said nobody would laugh. So what is this? Then he turned toward the disciple. And stop laughing. Tell me what you came here for. The disciple immediately replied, Elder, a man named Tank Shushan has arrived. He's requesting to meet the young masters. Han Sheng instantly smirked. What? That coward came here to see me? Take me to him immediately. We're actually very familiar with each other. I've helped him quite a lot recently. The second elder growled coldly. Han Sheng, I won't forget what you did today. I'll definitely take revenge for this. Soon, Han Sheng entered the hall and smiled mockingly. General Tank, what brings you here? And you specifically came to meet me? That's honestly pretty surprising. Meanwhile, Tank Shushan thought to himself, this brat's tongue is ridiculously sharp. If the Martial King hadn't ordered me to come here, I would never willingly meet someone like him. But the Martial King specifically wants to meet the person who killed the Ghost King. So bringing this brat along is extremely important. Then Shushan spoke respectfully. I came under the Martial King's orders. Both young masters have been invited to a banquet hosted by the Martial King. He wishes to personally thank you both for your bravery. You have no idea how important it was for us to eliminate those evil spirits. And by accomplishing this mission, you've done our people a tremendous favor. Han Sheng replied coldly. We only went there to complete the mission assigned to us by the Wuji sect. We didn't do it for the Martial King. So there's no reason for him to thank us. And besides, we're not the kind of people who run around claiming credit for everything. Some people are so shameless that they pretend to protect the people while secretly joining hands with bandits. But the moment they accidentally do even one good thing, they immediately want all the credit for it. I'm not one of those pathetic people. I don't need any praise. Han Ran stepped forward and added, take back whatever gifts you brought with you. Whether your intentions are good or bad, we don't need them. At that moment, Miss Yan entered the hall dressed in men's clothes. She looked at Han Sheng and said, Young Master Han Sheng, you should definitely go to the Martial King's residence. Han Sheng immediately recognized her. That's Miss Yan, but why is she dressed like a man? Then he asked curiously, can I know what exactly you mean by that? And what are you trying to say here? Miss Yan explained. Miss Yan once told me that she was being forced into a marriage with someone named Dao Mao, and I wanted to meet that man. That's why I think we should go. Han Sheng suddenly remembered. Right, Miss Yan left her home because of that marriage. She was never happy about it, but now it looks like there's a reason she wants to return, and she wants me to take her back there. Han Sheng smiled confidently. If my brother wants to meet the Martial King, then I'll definitely take him there. General Tank, the two of us will attend the Martial King's banquet. Han Sheng thought to himself. Until now, Miss Yan wanted nothing more than to stay away from home. But if she suddenly wants to return, then something important must have happened. I should take her there. A few days later, the scene shifted to the Martial King's mansion. The Martial King, Bu Feng, welcomed a guest warmly. Dao Mao, I'm glad you came to visit. Come, sit down and drink some wine with me. At this point, nobody knew Dao Mao's cultivation realm yet. He was the son of Duke Dao Bao. Dao Mao smiled and replied, to be honest, I didn't come here to meet you. I came to see my fiancée, Miss Yan. It's been a long time since we last met, and I've been wondering how my beautiful fiancée has been doing. So please hurry and call Yan Lan here. I can't wait any longer. The Martial King nodded and ordered, Butler, go bring Yan Lan here immediately. The butler instantly panicked. Martial King, are you seriously giving me that order? Inside his mind, the butler was terrified. How am I supposed to bring the young lady here? She's been gone for a long time. Even if I pretend to search for her, where exactly am I supposed to go? The Martial King quietly whispered, go outside and wander around for a bit. Pretend you're searching for her. Come back after 10 minutes and say that the princess is either sleeping or sick. Then he kicked the butler angrily. You people have become way too lazy these days. Now hurry up and do your job. Right then, an announcement echoed through the mansion. The two young masters of the Wuji sect have arrived. As Han Sheng entered the hall, he grinned. Martial King, what a grand welcome. You must have been an athlete in the past. You seem extremely talented at throwing your own people around. The Martial King forced a smile. The two young masters have finally arrived. I've been waiting for both of you. Meanwhile, the Martial King secretly thought, this young master is extremely handsome. But why is his tongue so sharp? At the same time, Dao Mao completely froze after seeing Han Ran. Inside his mind, he was overwhelmed. Why does it feel like I've finally found my true love? That sharp nose looks like a majestic tower. His glowing skin almost seems to radiate light. And those deep blue eyes look like an endless ocean. How can someone this perfect even exist? I've never seen such a flawless man before. He's definitely the most handsome person in the world. Han Ran frowned awkwardly. Hey, why are you staring at me like that? Mind your own business. Otherwise things won't end well for you. But Dao Mao only became more fascinated. He shouldn't be talking to me like that. But somehow hearing those harsh words from him feels amazing. Han Ran whispered to Han Sheng. Brother, doesn't this Dao Mao seem incredibly strange? Why does he keep staring at us like that? Please stay careful around him. Han Sheng sighed dramatically. Brother, I'm sad to say this, but the real danger here isn't me. It's you. A boy has clearly set his sights on you. The Martial King became completely confused. How did the atmosphere suddenly become this weird? And why is Dao Mao acting so strangely? I need to change the subject immediately. The Martial King clapped his hands and announced, Guards, prepare the banquet. The two young masters have arrived, so we'll host a grand feast to thank them properly. But before anyone could move, Dao Mao suddenly interrupted. Wait a second. He walked directly toward Han Ran and smiled warmly. Young master, you're from the Han family, right? May I know your name? You seem like a wonderful person. Would you like to visit my residence sometime so we can talk? The moment he said that, Han Sheng instantly threw his sword toward him. You shameless bastard. Stay away from my brother. My brother is 100% a real man. You claim you only want to talk, but your disgusting intentions are written all over your face. If you even try to get close to my brother again, I'll kill you myself. Because of Dao Mao's frustration, Han Sheng immediately gained 288 rage points. Dao Mao looked offended. So you get angry when I flirt with a handsome man? But you also have a handsome man standing beside you. You're doing the exact same thing, so how can you criticize me? I know you're jealous of me because I'm far more handsome than you. And my silky hair is proof of that. But the next moment, he noticed something horrifying. Han Sheng's sword had shaved off the hair in the middle of his head. Dao Mao screamed, My hair! What happened to my beautiful hair? At that exact moment, Yanlan removed the hairpin from her hair and revealed her true appearance. Dao Mao, open your eyes properly and look at who I really am. Dao Mao stared at her in shock. This face looks familiar, and that voice definitely wasn't masculine. I recognize this body. This is Yanlan. Then he proudly declared, You think I wouldn't recognize you? My eyes are as sharp as an eagle's. I can recognize people from very far away. I already noticed it earlier. I just didn't say anything. You're Yanlan's brother, right? See? My guess was completely correct. If a boy looks exactly like Yanlan, then he has to be her brother. Please don't praise me too much for my intelligence. I've always been gifted at guessing things since childhood. The Martial King could barely process what he was hearing. How can someone fail to recognize his own fiancée this badly? Meanwhile, Han Sheng and Han Ran were both completely stunned. Han Sheng sighed helplessly. There's no need to trick this idiot. God already sent him into the world as one. Furious, Yanlan immediately punched Dao Mao. Idiot. Can't you see who I really am? You're seriously such a strange and ridiculous person. That's exactly why I could never like you. The Martial King finally spoke. Yanlan, you finally came back. Yanlan nodded calmly. Yes, father, I returned. But I came back for something important. Dao Mao is not the right person for me. That's why I'm breaking off this marriage. The Martial King frowned deeply. Marriage is not a joke. You agreed to this engagement yourself. You can't simply cancel it now. Yanlan replied firmly. Father, I've thought this through carefully. After spending time with Han Sheng and his family, I finally understood what life truly means. A person should never allow others to control their life. Han Sheng's family is happy because every member lives freely in their own way. Even though they're all completely different, they still remain a true family. But I spent my entire life obeying others without question. And now, I regret it deeply. That's why I'm finally saying this openly today. I want to choose my own path. I won't blindly follow your decisions anymore. The Martial King thought to himself, so this is why we couldn't find Yanlan, no matter how hard we searched. The Wuji sect had been hiding her all this time. There's no one else capable of hiding her from us so completely. The Martial King then spoke seriously. Yanlan, I was always proud of you because you always listened to me. But today, your thoughts have completely changed. That shameless playboy Han Sheng must be the one who corrupted your mind. He filled your head with nonsense. But remember this well. Playboys never truly belong to anyone. So please don't trust his words. Han Sheng immediately replied, Now I finally understand why Princess Yan never wanted to come back home. Seriously, she has a terrible father. Your daughter is actually an amazing person. She always obeyed you. She never once lived life the way she wanted. But I'm the exact opposite. I've never listened to anyone in my family, especially my dad. And every time I return home, I bring trouble with me. But whenever my dad sees me, the first thing in his eyes is concern. His top priority is always making sure I'm safe. Only after confirming that I'm alright does he start scolding me. And even his scolding is filled with care because he worries something might happen to me. But you claim you love your daughter. Yet after she finally returned home after so many days, you didn't even show concern for her. You didn't ask whether she had eaten. You didn't ask how she had been living all this time. Instead, you immediately started emotionally blackmailing and blaming her. You know, there's a huge difference between my father and you. My dad always acts like he's a terrible father. But deep down, he's actually an amazing one. And you pretend to be a good father. But in reality, you're not. The Martial King panicked. No, that's not true. You're twisting my words. At that moment, Han Sheng gained 180 rage points from the Martial King. Han Sheng smirked. Then why can't you answer properly? Why are you stuttering? Could it be that you were using your daughter as a political tool? If you married her into the Duke's family, your own power and influence would increase greatly. So did you use your daughter for your personal ambitions? That's honestly disgusting. The Martial King shouted angrily. You've been talking nonsense from the very beginning. I never said anything like that, and I was never planning such a thing. Han Sheng crossed his arms. By the way, our Wuji sect protected your daughter for several days, but you never once thanked us for safely bringing her back. Seriously, Martial King, you're a terrible person. Your army secretly cooperated with bandits. At first, I planned to report their crimes to you, but honestly, compared to you, they seem better. At least they don't treat their own children badly. Meanwhile, Han Sheng kept receiving rage points from the furious Martial King. Han Sheng continued mercilessly. Miss Yanlan stayed at our mansion for several days, and I'm sure you want to reward me for protecting her. Since my dad already knows you, I won't ask for too much. I only want this much. The Martial King frowned. What? 500 silver taels? Han Sheng shook his head. No. Think bigger. The Martial King guessed again. 5,000? Han Sheng smirked. Higher. The Martial King's face twitched. 50,000? Still higher. The Martial King's expression darkened. 500,000 silver taels? Han Sheng nodded proudly. Now you're finally speaking a proper amount. The The Martial King exploded with anger. Enough with your nonsense. Inviting you here was clearly my biggest mistake. The moment I gave you respect, you started climbing all over my head. Get out immediately. There won't be any banquet. Before anyone could react, Han Sheng suddenly slapped the Martial King across the face. 500,000 silver taels. And this slap. Consider it your reward for being the worst father in the world. The Martial King trembled with rage after being slapped. Han Sheng instantly received another huge wave of rage points. The Martial King roared furiously. Guards! What are you all staring at? Capture them immediately. They crossed the line a long time ago. At the same time, Dao Mao shouted excitedly, Guards, grab Han Ran. Do not hurt him. I really like this man. I'm taking him back to my mansion. And as for that annoying Han Sheng, you can kill him if you want. One of the guards, Wu Lang, stepped forward. He was at the first stage of the heavenly realm. Han Ran quickly said, Brother, take Miss Yan and leave. I'll hold these bastards off. As Han Sheng started running, he replied, Brother is right. Miss Yan's fighting skills are terrible. If we protect someone while fighting, it'll become much harder. Then he shouted, Paigu, hurry and prepare the carriage. Paigu panicked. Young master, what happened? Han Sheng answered urgently, There's no time to explain. Take Yanlan back home immediately. And whichever elder you meet there, tell them both young masters are in grave danger. This is a very serious situation, so they need to come help us as quickly as possible. Paigu asked nervously, But young master, what about you? Han Sheng clenched his fists. I'm going back to save my brother. Meanwhile, on the other side, Han Ran was desperately escaping from Wu Lang and the other guards. Wu Lang shouted mockingly, If you've got courage, then stop running. Let's see what happens to you then. But suddenly, Hanan reached the edge of a cliff. There was nowhere left for him to run. And with that, the episode came to an end. What happens next will be revealed in the next episode. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned.